All right, grinders, hit that like button, share it out. The Grindhouse is opening now. Oh, here he is. Let's go.
Brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. F it, quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stats, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
Oh yeah,
I'm going mainstream.
That's right.
Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Woo. Going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
Xbox's hands of OSS first development. My name is Matt Booty. Here is your coffee order. 2 creams, 1 sugar.
Yo, what's up, grinders? How you doing? I still hear this guy screaming in my ear. Enough. Yo, grinders, it's that time. It's the Gaming Grindhouse. Kick those doors down. Hit that like button. We got the show of shows this evening. You thought last night was fire, man. You ain't seen nothing yet. I've been making my rounds, listening to this quote community. I don't give a shit. Because you know the Gaming Grindhouse is where it is. And shout out, we got Frogs coming in here, kicking the door down. You're going to hear his first-hand opinion of this craziness that is going on. We had Phil Ness come into the streets and tell us, I hear you. Oh, man, he's getting a new one. And then, Grindhouse exclusive, our own weatherman. What's up, Kyle? How you doing, man? The weatherman is in. He forecasted blue skies and shit-ass green turds, right? That's what he did. Oh, damn. What's up, man? How you guys doing out there?
And enjoying life. Watching it burn.
Damn. Watching it burn. Yeah,
Watching it burn.
We talked about... Man, we're going to do a history lesson. Jesus. Watching it burn there. Let me do a shout out to the grinders in here, coming on in here, because they know the fires of the grindhouse are burning. What's up, Jesus, the unknown, Harry Tran? How you doing? What's up, VIP grinders? Nick, how you doing? Nick going wild in there. Oh, man. Fabrizzle, what's up? Let's do this, he says. That's right. Flex the new emoji grinders, the VIP emojis. So, unfortunately, I need 6. I'm just letting you know, I need to get another emoji added. We need 6 more VIPs, but because of the special
whatever your name
time
is,
that we have here,
big surprise.
And welcome, Chris Howell, join the Gaming Grindhouse. Thank you so much, man. Welcome, Grinder Chris. Yo, so basically, I added emojis for this evening. There is a brand new emoji. If you have not seen it, oh man, let me fix it. I've been flexing it earlier. Where did it go? Here, is this it? No, this is not my screen. Everybody flexing. We got the Phil Ness doing an Abby or a Joel to hit the Xbox Series X. Holy crap. Phil Ness doing the Abby, golf club and all, smashing there it is right there. And then I had one, a personal favorite of mine, Major Nelson with 2 parrots on his shoulders to show you what the goofery that happened with Xbox and how did we get to here. There's Major Nelson with parrots on his shoulders. Yes, that was taken from one of those Inside Xboxes. You know, when they were doing those shows.
You just made the list.
You know, those shows that they were doing where they had some goofy ass stuff. Well, Major Nelson had parrots on his arms, on his shoulders. That's what Xbox thought about gamers back then when they were trying to address the core audience. Oh, I got some tapes, dude. This is going to be, listen, the content you're going to get out of here, you're not going to get anywhere else. Thank you, RPG Gaming, for 1 member, VIP Grinder. Who got it? Kevin got it. Kevin, please sex those emojis, as I worked very hard on those. And Phil Spencer taking the club Abby style to the Series X. Holy crap, we did it, man. Eola's just gifted them. Oh, man, there they come. The VIPs. New emojis coming in. I got to get a new one now. Now you guys are going to put me pressure. Yo, thank you so much, man. We're good. We got Manioles with the 5. We got Dan S with the 1 gifted and Ron M with another 5. Oh, man, that gets a song. Here we go.
Sign me, please, I will bend over.
Oh, damn. Not that one. Phil.
We all play the make exclusive games and like. To my face, thank you, Phil.
Stop. Enough.
We're not stopping. We're going full.
You just made the list.
Full blown right in there. Welcome, Enki, to VIP Grinder. Get that new emoji book. Thank you, RPG. Yes, I got to do a new one now. Oh, I have a couple. I had the voted one with Phil Spencer with his nuts.
You just made the list.
Phil Spencer shit splits. I had that one. Damn. Holy crap. But thank you again. Sony, damn, BU. What are we doing? Yo. Okay. So if
you just made the list.
After we get these VIPs coming in, then I'll get Frogs and Kyle. Where did Kyle go? Where did the weatherman go? We need the forecast. What happened? Did he get kicked out? I didn't kick him out. Where is he? There he is. He's back in the thing. Yo,
you just made the list.
Where you going? He left and came back. All right. We got you. The war is over. We won, Kylo. Oh, damn. The grinds are going wild. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this chat up here. Yo, okay.
You just made the list.
Before I get to you guys, let me just give a brief summary of what's going down, a time frame. If you missed the epic show last night, we're gonna just give you just a brief recap here. Dude, I'm not going full third party. What are you talking about?
You just made the list.
I'm doing my Taylor Swift rounds, going around listening. No, so anyway, we talked about Hi-Fi Rush. That was the first thing that started, right?
You just made the list.
Here they come. Beyond RPG Gaming, welcome to the VIP Grindhouse. Thank you, man. Oh, damn. The game night, 1, 2, 3 with the 5. He goes, Jez, I'm sorry I missed one of your earlier.
You just made the list.
Jez, I'm sorry I missed one of your earlier live streams, but don't worry. I heard you. I'm here. Shout out to game night 1, 2, 3, man. OG Grinder. What's up, man? Thank you so much, man. Woo, yeah.
You just made the list.
Thanks, Richard. We're going to try and do this one. So, anyway. So, so the Hi-Fi Rush thing started. And then, welcome, Ice Beyond, VIP Grinder. So that started. And then more people corroborated the story.
You just made the list.
Welcome, One Papa Kirk. And then they started saying Sea of Thieves. And then they started saying other games. And then it just kept snowballing and snowballing. And then they're putting these games on PlayStation.
You just made the list.
Welcome, Doc Prince. Just put these on PlayStation. Put these on PlayStation. And we were on Halo Master Chief Collection last night. Now we're on Gears of War.
You're my #1 customer.
Going to PlayStation. It is wild. And people like, Phil, you need to speak. We need to speak. And Phil did. He has spoken. And this is the tweet that he put out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Phil Spencer thinks of all y'all. Here he is right here, Mr. Phil Ness himself, on cue. I'm going to take the quote from Tim Dog. He called this an AI chatbot. There it is. Phil Ness Spencer says, here we go. You know what? Let me see if I have it, Grinders. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. This needs to come back. Okay. Can you hear me? All right, we're good. Yeah, I think we're due for a classic reading, everybody. So without further ado, I would like to introduce where is he? Oh man, I'm looking for him. Hit that like button as I look for him. Maybe you remember this.
Oh yeah, it is Phil Ness. You remember me? I've been buttering up your ass all these years. And now, Phil Ness is gonna read you the tweet of the century. Oh yeah. Phil Glorious Maximus Spencer, yeah. We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week, where we will look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned. Oh yeah, rooftop parties, yeah.
Oh man, that Phil Ness, it was a classic. He came back. He had to come back. Those are the early days of the gaming grindhouse of Phil Ness. Hopefully you remember those. But for the newcomers, hit that subscribe button. No, that is the classic Phil Ness. That's where he wined and dined you and smoked to you in his smoky silk voice and told you everything's gonna be fine. But yeah, that's what he said. He said, we're listening, we hear you. Oh damn. We've been planning a business update event. Wow, sounds exciting. Can't wait to play, gamers. A business event for next week where we look forward to sharing some more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned. He's going to make you wait a week for a business update. Business update. Frogs and Kyle, let me ask you something. Does that sound gaming? Does that sound like fun?
Jez, Grinders, Frogs, everybody in the chat. That is not a denial at all. And I am forecasting a PlayStation 2024.
What? Oh my goodness. What do you mean a PlayStation 2024? I need like weather effects. Hold on. I need some wind.
I know
Something
we
like
gotta we gotta get the weatherman like sound effects, some rain, maybe some thunder, some lightning.
Yeah, I got you.
You know.
There we go. All right, Kyle, bring in that forecast. What's going on here? Tell us what's happening. I got you. You win.
Absolutely.
Grindhouse
guys.
forecast.
All right,
Exclusive.
Here's the deal. Exclusive. We're breaking it down here on the Grindhouse. This year, you are going to hear so many excuses. The highs, the lows, the warm fronts, the cold fronts. All that we can read through and sift through it all. Like Jez just said, that's the Phil Ness. In that tweet that he just read, of course, Phil Ness here in the Grindhouse, no denial whatsoever. They are totally on their back foot. Jez, we talked about this actually recently. Very reactionary versus being proactive in terms of all of this stuff. So yeah, 2024, it was a green Christmas. I forecasted that late last year. It's going to be a blue year this year, both for PlayStation and Xbox.
Whoa. What about the clouds? What about the clouds? Ryan wants to know, what about the clouds? How's the clouds
There's
doing?
only one thing stuck in the clouds, and that's the big head of Phil Ness.
Oh, damn.
And that's your forecast.
Thank
Frogs,
you.
What do you got for me? We got to toss it out to Frogs.
Frogs, what's up,
Live in
man?
the field.
Frogs, you've been quiet, man. What is going on? What did you think about Phil Ness's tweet? But first, what did you think about all this stuff coming to fruition the last couple of days?
Hey, we called this. Let it burn. This is the reason the Grindhouse
You're my
exists
number one
is
customer.
because we talked about this. This is exactly the reason why the Grindhouse exists. We called this, we said this on a certain podcast that said we were just pandering and we were so afraid and you can't talk about execs and look what it is now. Let it burn. I put out a tweet, all you fanboys, all you fangirls that did not ask for better, who drove them to what they're doing now, you deserve it. This is what you get. And gaming is my hobby. If I was primarily playing on PlayStation, they were doing this, I would have been left PlayStation. I would have went somewhere else that gave me what I wanted and was listening to what I wanted as options. Anybody who stood there and cheered on what Xbox was doing and championed on it and held the line, you deserve it. What line are you holding now? There's no more war. The war has been over. You deserve everything you get. I hope you continue to play on your platform of choice. But if you play on PlayStation, so be it. This was something that was written on the wall. You can look at the history of Sega and the history of Microsoft's Xbox, and it's basically the same. It's the same. It doesn't matter if you're a multi-trillion-dollar company, because that's what kept. They got the money. They got the money.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you got money don't mean that you got the big dick.
Oh, shit.
I just don't get it.
Cheers for the big
Frogs
dick.
make it rain.
The guy walking around is barking up and yelling and screaming. He's the smallest guy in the room. He's usually the weakest guy in the room also. The guy who's quiet, sitting
Yellow
back,
chair.
I just don't get these. I don't get these influencers. I don't get these fake neutros. I don't, and I especially don't get the fanboys who wouldn't call out the BS. You didn't call out the BS when we told you this BS. You didn't call it out, and now you're like, I'm leaving gaming.
Frog, I was
Or
just
you're like, I'm
again.
switching. I'm switching. My podcast. I'm like, no, don't do that now. Be who you've always been and hold that line.
I just
Hold
was
that line.
listen. I was just on Mooch's show, and Crap was telling me how everything was great, all these games and all this stuff. I'm like, and then he's like reinventing history. I'm like, where were you saying when Sarah Bond got on stand and was like, cloud is not growing. It's only people doing demos. Where was all the coverage going? Dude, the cloud is not growing. The thing we said 4G and 5G was going to save, it's not growing. Nobody pulled that out. Everybody's like,
Jez,
get ABK. Like, nobody said anything, dude. Every
time we talked about something, we said we called something. What do we?
That's not
you got
good.
people screaming at me and you. Erroneous on all accounts. No, it's never
yeah, fear mongering, over exaggeration. My ass.
Everything. And we
Look
kept
where
saying,
we
hey,
are.
You You shouldn't want your games to be like this. You shouldn't want your console to be like this.
No,
You
it was
should
contradictory.
we said everything. We even said, hey, these execs are making bad decisions. You can't talk about the execs. They're our friends. You just
Exactly,
made
they're
them
friends.
laugh. We know them. We're on stage with them and take pictures and rooftop parties.
Oh shit.
So
Hey,
they
Frogs,
deserve
I
it.
got a question for you, Frogs. I got a
Mhm.
question. Are you going to sell your Series X that you just bought for like $300?
Oh damn, Frog, you just bought it too. Oh damn.
Say that one more time.
Are you going to sell the Xbox that you just bought?
I'm just gonna use it as a CD player now. Just, I mean, I got it for $199. I
A
use it as a
CD player. Holy.
Yeah. I own a lot of physical CDs, so I'll use it as a CD player.
Oh, he's
And,
using the Xbox as a jukebox.
Yeah, it'll be a jukebox. It'll be a turntable.
Oh no.
At this point, I know I'm not gonna get much if I
Not
sell
like
it. So
this.
it'll just be the last hurrah. I don't
I
plan
don't
on
blame you
buying
either,
anything.
Frogs. They were pretty much giving those away over the holidays.
You better
and
check
stuff like that.
GameStop to see if they're going to take that thing
Yeah.
back. Ryan says, make it a
Right?
lamp. Oh, damn. Oh, damn, make it a lamp. Yo, Twisted Sick with
This
the
should be a
5.
shame.
He goes, and this is what's crazy. If this doesn't show the dichotomy of where we are. Yeah, but anyway, about the whole thing, like all these people, like where all this stuff, like you could see the writing on the wall, like the console wasn't selling. Like every financial call, we're seeing the console minus 15%, minus 12%, in 3-1. Nobody was like, hey guys, the console's not doing too hot. Everybody's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. ABK deal. It's great. Phil wore a suit today. How cute he looks. Look how cute Phil looks. Oh, he's so cute. He has a suit on. This is beautiful. Phil has a suit. He's on the stand. Look at how happy he is. Phil's so cute. Oh, Florian, tell us about why it's going to go through. And nobody, like Phil said, right? Like the sales it's not selling. Oh, it's not about console sales. Guess what? All the crying and whining that's been happening the last couple of days. What do you like now? It's the console. Oh, we're important now. I've been telling you this, Frogs. We've been saying this for 6 friggin' years, not 6 weeks. 6 years. Episode 1 of the goddamn What Grinds My Gears said you don't abandon the console. Even when they went to PC, all they were saying was like, we want to put a whole ecosystem, chat and everything on PC. It's like, dude, what about the console? Oh, and PC exclusives. And nobody said iota. They're like, it's not about consoles. Well, for all you that said it's not about consoles, what are you saying now? What about me? What about me? The guy who spends the most and buys the most, the console owner. What about little old me? Dude, you sold yourself out for I don't know what, but you sold yourself out. He said, I don't
Rooftop
get it.
parties.
I don't understand it. I do not understand it because that's why I would get into these passionate rants because when people go, it's better now. I'm like, how is it better now? Look at the sales of the console. What do you mean? Look at their focus. How is it better now? Oh, they got studios now. Where are the games? Oh, they take time. And then when they come out, they're half-baked. Phil Ness takes it on the chin. All this other trash. And it's like, well, he took it on the chin. He's a good guy. He learned his lesson. He's still learning 10 years later. Like, what the hell? Where are all these excuses coming from? Meanwhile, the console's not, but Microsoft made money. Who cares if Microsoft made money? Look at the console. The thing that you love and you're watching, you're basically, Frog, we said this. They basically took the shovel and are digging the grave when they keep saying it's not about the console, it's about the MAUs. Well, then guess what? Tim Dogs has spaces for 2,000 people in there saying, what about me? What about the console? Where the hell were these spaces for the last 4 years?
Exactly. Jez, the thing is too, how about all the emails that came out the last
Exactly,
year or two?
dude.
No one reported on any of that stuff. You literally have emails from Pete Hines, who's now since left Bethesda, literally telling Phil and Amy Hood, hey guys, I think this is ridiculous. We really should be putting Bethesda games on PlayStation 5. All of that stuff, and then they pulled the plug on development for both Starfield and Redfall PS5 versions. None of these guys, girls, whoever else reported on any of this stuff.
Nothing.
And we were all over it. We were
all over it, dude. I would pull this out and I'm big. Oh, well, negativity. It's about positivity. Positivity. Where's the positivity now when Phil is basically stomping you out saying you don't mean anything? Wait for my business update. Oh, now you feel disrespected. Oh, really? Now? Meanwhile, the guy has been leading you along with stupid twinkly eyes. Phil Ness lies to your face. You let him sign your ass and tattoo you at Xbox Fan Fest. Get a tramp stamp right on the ass, a vapor chamber, and then you get a quick resume on your arm and all this other shit. You let them sign your ass over, and all you kept saying was not about the console. It's about Timmy on the phone. It's about PC. Do you realize the words that are coming out of your mouth? If it's not about the console. I play on everything. Well, then why is this bothering you then? Because you said when it plays everywhere, but you wanted it. But you wanted a little asterisk there. You wanted a little caveat. You could play everywhere, just not on PlayStation, Nintendo. No. But you could play everywhere. Everywhere we all win, but not on there. Well, that's contradictory. That makes no sense. How can you be everywhere but not on everything? Oh, but it's everywhere that Xbox is. Well, then, that's not everywhere then. That is still under an Xbox ecosystem, under a subscription. And I've said this so many times before. The market is moving. Everybody's doing well. Nintendo's selling their games. Sony's selling their games. PC's doing their shit. Everybody's doing great. But Xbox and Microsoft are face down, ass up, mistakes, tripping over themselves. They can't even get a decent game out that just was great. And the one game they get out is a little indie stealth release, which was by mistake because they didn't know when to announce the goddamn game. So they just dropped it after a developer direct. Good confidence
Jez,
in that one.
I came on this show in December, right after the Game Awards. And what did I tell you, Frogs, all the grinders, everyone? And I think a lot of you guys agreed with me. Blade. We called it when they showed Blade with no marketing, anything whatsoever.
Oh,
and that was the reason why.
How long was that debate?
The reason why.
And then they put it on their channel, and they're like, "Oh, Greenberg retweeted the video on their channel, make it look like exclusive," but they never shouted from the rooftop that was exclusive. Let me get
and that tells you everything.
I know, it was crazy. Let me get RPG88 member for 13 months. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you for all the gifted memberships. The VIP grinders are happy there. He says, "Sell your Xboxes, buy into greatness." Yep. If they haven't already, I don't know what they're waiting for because there hasn't been anything on Xbox that's really no console exclusives in years. No console exclusives. I'm going to tell you something. Here's another fact check, everybody. Hit that like button. The last console exclusive that Xbox got, can anybody guess it? Let's see. We'll let the chat think about it. Let the stream go and let the chat tell me what was the last Xbox console exclusive. Holy damn, Brian East with the quick hands. Crossfire X, the worst reviewed game. I think it was like a 47. Crossfire X. You know,
and the one before that, don't forget the launch game, the Falconeer.
Holy shit, the Falconeer.
Oh, yeah, that came.
You can't forget that.
We should have knew right then and there.
Dude, Crossfire X. That was your last.
On their little goo goo gaga.
Yeah, that was your goo goo gaga right there. Crossfire L. That's right, Sam Hatton. Crossfire L. That was your last console exclusive they gave to you. And Phil was in the crowd going, "I've been working real hard for 3 years. Smilegate." Who? You know them, Smilegate. And then they partnered with Remedy and all this other shit. There you go. There's your last console Xbox exclusive.
World famous developer.
World famous. Smilegate. He was in the crowd, man. He was hugging the grandmas, kissing the babies. He's like, "Smilegate? Who? Who knows Smilegate?" He's world renowned. I spent since 2017 talking to them. It's like, Phil, blow it out your ass. God.
Pretty sad.
Oh, Twisted Sync with the $5. He goes, "So you need 2 subs now for Final Fantasy 14 on Xbox." This slipped under the radar too. Just when Phil thinks you knocked you out, he's gonna throw some more dirt on you.
You just made the list.
Apparently, you need Xbox Core to play Final Fantasy 14, while PlayStation has it with just 1 subscription. So you need 2. He says you need 2 subs. I guess I don't know, Twisted. I saw that you needed Xbox Core, which is basically Xbox Live.
I heard somebody try to lie and say you needed PlayStation Plus to play Destiny 2. You only needed to play
not free
Crucible.
games.
Outside of that, you don't need it.
Yeah,
It's free.
Jez, what Twisted means is, so you need the Game Pass Game Pass Core at the very least, but then also Final Fantasy 14 has its own sub.
Oh
Has its own
yes,
sub.
okay, I got
Right,
you. Man.
right.
Yes, and
Yeah,
that's why on PlayStation you just pay for the Final Fantasy 14 subscription, and you don't have to play
Look,
Plus
they got-
and that.
They
Yeah,
got rid of Xbox Live so quick because they want to make sure that everybody adopted Game Pass, and I think people started realizing they didn't want to be in Game Pass. And now I can't spend $60 a year. I gotta spend heck no. So people realize what's going on.
Drugs.
Yeah,
I thought
and-
game sales don't matter though. I thought game
Yeah.
sales don't matter. So now why?
that don't matter
conditions-
either. Console sales, game sales, none of it matters.
They've conditioned their users to not care about buying anything. That's why when that Visions of Mana got announced, I said, I don't even know why they announced that. Nobody's gonna buy it. It's not Game Pass. They don't care about it. It's sad. You saw the path they were going. You saw the route they were going, and people kept saying, "No, it's just fear mongering. Don't worry about it." No, we saw what they were doing, and we knew what was going to end up, and they deserve everything they get.
Mhm.
Everything that's happening, they deserve it. I don't feel
Jez and
sorry
Frogs,
for
let
them
me
not.
run this by you guys real quick, and you guys too in the chat, right? This is kind of like, I don't know, a quick little snapshot of what I think happened. So when they closed that ABK deal, but of course, like the years before that, I really think Phil Spencer, seriously, he had like free reign. Like he could do, of course, he had a boss and Satya and all these people, but like he could do whatever he wanted to do, right? Well, Starfield comes out in September. Yep, they got a bunch of those $100 early access, like, buy the game on Steam and Xbox to play it 5 days early or whatever it was. But I don't think it really set the map on fire, both in sales, but also in Game Pass subs. I think Satya said that the Game Pass subs went up the most ever in Xbox's history, but we don't really know any context to that. But it's very obvious that people probably subbed and then gave their sub away or whatever, canceled. And then the ABK deal closed, right? Well, then I think everyone was like, hey guys, I'm not so sure about this revenue stuff. And by they, I mean the Amy Hoods, Herb Bean Counters, Tim Stewart, all the financial people. And I think now, Phil, of course, he's still there. Jez, I agree. I think he might actually be leaving later this year or something. But I think the financial people, at least it's obvious.
They took it over. The fact that he called it a business event update, that I'm even wondering, is it even him, or
I'm telling you.
or is it like Stewart, or is it like Satya, him sitting down and being like, it's going to be a rehearsed thing. I'm telling, they're probably going to deliver this thing like how they delivered all the Halo bad news, right? Basically, like sitting there with that fake interview going, so, tell us how campaign's going. Well, I'm glad you asked. So we decided not to ship co-op campaign, and we're changing a priority. So that's what they're going to do with Phil. They're going to have him sitting there. They're going to go, or they're going to have Sarah Bond, poor Sarah Bond. They're going to throw her under the bus. So Sarah, you just became appointed to Xbox. Tell us what the new direction is for Xbox. And it's going to be like, so we our mission is to make more games for more players and we're going to put it on everything. And that means that we're going to start with some, and I think they're going to be vague. I think that they're going to be very kind of still giving some hope to their influencers and to people out there going, well, we're going to keep these games for now, but, we're going to just start with these games and, not announce anything about Halo or Gears. I don't think they're going to go in there, but I think they're going to say, we are going to start putting our library on PlayStation and Switch. And I think they're going to leave it as that. And they're going to say, starting with Hi-Fi Rush, which releases in another week or something like that. And I think they're going to leave it there. I don't think they're going to list or they're going to say Halo and Gears are not going there because you never believe them. And they might not, they'll say that right now, but I think they're just going to, they're going to drag damage.
Cagey.
They're going to be cagey. They're not going to be clear.
Specific. Case by case basis. We've heard all that.
Yeah, we heard it before. Case by case basis. But what I can guarantee you is that Xbox is still here and your content is safe and that you'll be able to still download your games. And, we still will support Game Pass. We may even have some games that are outside of Game Pass.
They're
which
gonna
they're gonna.
pander.
Oh man.
They're gonna pander to make it seem like it's something that isn't, but they're gonna basically do what Phil Spencer's been doing
Yeah.
the whole time. Lie to you. They're gonna lie to you.
And you're right, Frog. But
They're gonna tell you what you want to hear, not what you really need.
Oh,
to know.
yeah.
They're gonna tell you that.
And what people are going to do is they're going to take that finesse business update and they're going to go against to the rumor and go, you guys were wrong. See, you're all wrong and all this other stuff. And now, but I think the damage has been done. That's the thing. This business, first off, the fact that they're waiting an entire week lets you know that this is something that's not good. Because
it's reactionary. It's reactionary.
Well, I'm just going to say, wait. Frog.
We've been hearing about these rumors since the end of last year going into this year.
Yeah.
And they haven't said anything. It's February. The fact that they haven't said anything, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's some truth to that. People were coming out. Small influencers coming out, which we know, Danger Zone, Mr. Danger Zone himself. Don't listen to it. You've heard nothing. It's a rumor. And then you got big guys like Warren, and you got other people that really, really are 100% pretty accurate. Are like, this game is coming. This game is coming. This game is coming. This game is coming. Now, it may not get announced right away. Gears of War, from what I've heard, it's one of those, they're debating, like, do we do a trilogy? And that's how we started.
August Phoenix Collection.
Franchise. And look, let me tell you something. My honest opinion, and I'm going to be honest with you, my honest opinion is if Xbox wants to maintain a healthy relationship with Gears of War, with Halo, they have to do something new. And what they do new is they reboot those franchises. Gears 1, 2, and 3 trilogy, put them on PlayStation, release them on Xbox, you're good. Or just release 2 and 3 on Xbox. And then what you do is you say, you know what? We're going to go ahead and give you Master Chief Collection with Halo 5. And then,
we will.
Later,
we'll go down them.
Halo Infinite to come. It's just one of those things. It's smart to reinvigorate that franchise. You killed your franchises when you went free to play. You killed your franchises with Game Pass. You got to find a way to bring the people back in. The only way you bring the people back in is go on multiplayer. I said it before. I said this when Halo Infinite was doing so bad. I said, hey, if they really want to have Halo Infinite survive, they need to release that thing multiplayer. At least the free-to-play mode, and then maybe bring the other stuff later. And people said, oh, there's no way that we thought the same thing about Sega. There's no way Sonic could ever be on a Nintendo and a PlayStation console. And look at them now.
I know,
it's just
right? I know. I got
like,
you mean.
The money doesn't matter with the company. They are really horrible at what they do as far as being proprietor of gaming. They are really bad at it. So it doesn't matter if you're a $4 trillion company. If you can't move and groove like you need to, like the PlayStations and the Nintendos, you're going to get left behind in the dust. It don't matter how much money you got. Money doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. They're not able to really give their clientele what they want. And their clientele is not speaking. The masses aren't speaking. The masses are telling them, oh, we want Game Pass. Oh, we want this. Oh, we want it on PC. It's healthy. Realistically, it's not. We said when they started releasing games on PC, hey, this is not good because this is going to hurt their franchise. We called this.
It was the day and date everything. That's the thing. They said everything day and date.
Me and you on a certain podcast said, hey, this is not healthy for that franchise because this takes away from the console gamer his or her special meaning of owning this game and saying, this is my franchise. Now you're like, oh, it's on PC and Xbox day one. That's why when I look at PlayStation, I'm like, okay, if it comes a year later, whatever. It's not going to sell the most on the PC. We know it's going to sell the most on the console. But if you have people's mind frames equipped to say it's going to be on PC and console day and day, we already know for the most part, some games are just going to sell better on the console, not the PC. The PC is a very small market for some of these titles. So some of these games they need to really look at, and they didn't need to release day and date. But they did, and it was a disaster. Gears is an example of why that franchise is dead. They didn't need to release it day and day, cross-play this, cross-play that.
Everything. They committed everything.
They really messed up. And then when Halo
One
Infinite
box
came out,
of them all.
you called this a year ago, Jez. Before Halo came out, you said if Halo comes out, it's going to be a service-based game. And
Yeah,
it was.
sheesh.
And then as soon as you said, hey, their next Forza game is going to be like this. Most of their games are going to be service-based games. And guess what? Most of their games is trying to try.
And has it made them better? Has it made them better? No, they made them worse. It hurt the franchises.
And I'm going to tell you something. I totally believe, and I think a lot of people understand when I say this. Everybody can't be Fortnite, Apex Legends, and Call of Duty Warzone. Those are a dime and a dozen, and you're chasing a freaking lightning in a bottle you may not ever catch. So you got to be out there. That's why Sony's saying, "Hey, here's our narrative-based games." And I do get on Sony's ass, and they keep remastering stuff because I get tired of it. I want new stuff. I get on Sony's ass when they release something. I'm like, this doesn't look up to snuff. I say something, and I do believe PlayStation listens, and they look and say, "Damn, this didn't sell well. This didn't move well." And are the people who are buying this stuff are telling us like, "No, we don't want this." And they just like, "Okay, we're not gonna," and it's just one of those things. Like, I think the fan base over there, they're just not saying enough to Phil Spencer and the powers that may be. And you know who I feel really bad for?
What?
When it's all said and done, Sarah Bond.
I know they might throw her, dude. They might throw her on the bus.
Dude, let me tell you something. She's gonna catch. Yeah, they're gonna throw her in the bus. She's gonna catch a lot.
Well,
of shit.
because look, if you go to the tweet says like, he don't talk about the Microsoft Gaming. Because remember, when they were doing their finances and stuff, they called it Windows Gaming or Microsoft Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
You see what he says? You're gonna tell you about our vision for the future of Xbox. See, this has been the problem, Frog. They've been always. This Xbox has been when they wanted. Remember, they would do the same thing when PC's Xbox and where it was always convenient. Like they switched the lingo around.
Knocking the door. Why every time I podcast, somebody knocks on the door and my dog freaks out.
Get those right. Let me get these super chats here. Ant Methods to the 6 months. He goes, here in Greece, Facebook Marketplace, you can get a Series X with 2 Pro controllers for €250. Meanwhile, a PS4 is still $300. Man, oh man. And shout out to No Cap Podcast. He was on the show last night, the 2. I can't do his laugh, but we're gonna do it. Sorry if I did you bad, No Cap. There you go. There was his super chat. And Michael Meridian with the 5. He goes, Jez, I think they're gonna stop day and date on Game Pass. It's costing them too much money. Now we got here. This is the leak here. Now, this person apparently leaked it over here. Let's see if I can zoom in for those with the bad eyes. Here. He says it right here. Oh, oops. Hold on. Let me zoom in here. He says, also,
Breaking news!
What happened?
News!
What?
1 hour ago, PlayStation and Square Enix announced the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo is officially released now.
Oh, damn. Now?
Now it's out now.
Oh,
it was supposed to come out at the
show at the State of Play.
It's out now.
Oh man,
it's out now.
Ain't that a bit?
This is.
There you go.
This is one of those things I keep saying. Sony's calculated.
Got the
they
games,
sit back
dude.
and they
got a State of Play.
They're calculated. Yes, they're watching what you're doing, and they're like,
oh, and Helldivers comes out too, by the way. Oops.
Oh, in a couple of days, yeah.
It comes out on the 9th. So what is that? Is that wait, it comes out on the 9th.
Thursday. Wednesday night, Thursday.
Wait, is the 6th?
Thursday, basically.
The 6th. Eric Grinders, go down a little while you listen to the show. There you go. Go listen to it. And then here you go. Now back to the see, and this shows the dichotomy of the state because people are going to try to spin this going, oh, well, Microsoft's making smart decisions. They're doing this stuff. Like, just like what Crap was trying to do on the Moochie show. Like, saying like, well, the Metacritic, these are great games that they released and they did such a great job and did this and then they did this and they did. And I'm like, then why are we here? Why is Xbox in this state right now? Why is all this going on right now? If they were doing so great for all these years, why are we here right now? So obviously it was not working. And now this guy says also is PlayStation getting Game Pass. He says not only PS5 and Nintendo not getting Game Pass, but expect major changes to both Game Pass support and day one launching into the service in the not too distant future. Turns out giving away games indeed way too expensive. Oh man, I think that is going to hurt even more to the fan base than putting a game on PlayStation. And if they do it on day and date, but now they're reversing course on Game Pass day and date, oh, I think that's a worse method, and that might be part of their business. We said this.
You can't put it back in the bottle. You can't put the genie back in.
They're gonna, dude. This is
they're gonna try.
They're gonna try because they gotta make because the business.
Yep.
All these years saying Game Pass is sustainable, don't worry about it, it's fine.
Sales don't matter.
Game sales don't matter. Console. That's what I mean. Everybody was like, it's fine because console sales don't matter. Game Pass don't. Day one sales don't matter. It's about engagement, dude. It's not about engagement. This is where I mean that. You come here. Listen, like, it just does not make sense. Oh, it's about monthly active users. Let me ask you something in a business. You open up a store and sell a product. You're making goddamn lemonade. All right? Compost Smurf. He just showed up, right? I got him right here. Compost Smurf makes a friggin' lemonade store. Compost, they're coming into your store, right? What do you care about? Compost, how'd you do today? Grindhouse, I had 400 people come into my store today. I have the counter right here. 400 people came in the store. That's great, Compost. Now, how many glasses of lemonade did you sell? I sold 20. Wait a second, 20. But I had 400 people. They engaged. They came in. They looked at my assortments of lemonades and my storefront and then the counter. They said hi to me. I said hi to them. It was very engaging. 400 people I counted came in. Yeah, but you only sold 20 glasses of lemonade. Yeah, but 400 people? Proudly walked in 400 people? But you sold 20 glasses of lemonade. We have to pay the rent here. What do we get? That's what I mean. It makes no friggin' sense. The point is it's like gambling. If you gamble more money away, you have a greater chance of winning. So they're saying, well, we have 200 monthly active users. Those are 200 potential customers. The mathematics supposed to be that if you have 200 people, you have a higher chance that those people will buy something. Because if you only have 10, it's like sales. If you only speak to 2 people in a day, you may not get a sale. But if you increase your pool to 100 people that you speak to a day, you may have a better chance of a sale. So when they scream monthly active users, that engagement is supposed to yield sales. That is a higher chance. Well, we only had 10 people come in the store today. Oh, okay. Well, that's not going to yield that much product. So that's why it's misleading when they talk about monthly. It's just a large number of traffic, but it doesn't yield direct money. And that's what you see.
Jez, you forgot part of your story, though.
What happened?
And
what happened to Compost?
The high quality lemonade stand across the street called Weatherman's Lemonade.
Oh no! Oh, we found out that Compost was pissing in the lemonade. Oh shit! And didn't sell it.
And Compost Smurf stole my recipe.
Oh,
but
story deepens.
All of the customers know that it's quality, so they're over there at Weatherman's Lemonade making it rain, getting the quality lemonade. I sold 200 instead of 20.
Oh, damn, you're right. That's a caveat right there. And then Josh says that MAUs only make money if you can sell advertisements to them. That's another rumor. So I got a little rumor mill here because I was been listening around, and we got some rumor here. Let me show you some stuff that may be released, that what people have been hearing. Okay, and hear this. So let me pull up these things here. What people have been hearing. I sent this to Frogs here. So what I heard, and actually, what's his name? Sloth actually recorded it, but I don't want to play the guy's. Oh, hold on. So, where's my bookmark? Man, they put it under here. Didn't I tell you? So hear this. This is what was going around here. This is what they in their business update. This is some of the speculation and rumors of what was heard by internal people. I think, and I'll give credit. Tim Dog said that this is what he heard here, and So he heard that. There we go, right here. He heard that Call of Duty may not be coming to Game Pass. Hardware sales may have met projected sales. The CFO got spooked. So what he said is that Xbox is practically bankrupt, the console itself. That the
they're scared. They're terrified.
This is a response because
Amy Hood is spooked.
She told you. Yeah, she said it. She said that basically the console is not selling. The console is not selling, and it's not expected to sell. And they priced it at such a low cost, and it didn't even do well. They still didn't even make it.
Phil told Satya and Amy Hood, even though he's not a finance guy, that sales don't matter.
Well, everybody, that's the excuse on Twitter there. In the last 3 months of the year, the console had a console for $350 and no one cared. Xbox One was the most was more wanted than the Series consoles. They said that hardware is dead and they're seeing declines in hardware year over year. Now that is factual from Amy Hood. She said that in her finance call that just happened. Game Pass is unsustainable. I don't want Tim Dog saying this one.
They've had an incredible amount of games. That's cost money. They need the money. They need it now. And this is the prompt move of this. And basically, they're just going for it all. This is going for the gusto. And you could actually argue that it's a smart move. I mean, I could say it's a smart move.
I've said all this.
They deserve it. They don't deserve that type of influence from me because.
Well, he's cashing out. Tim heard that someone at Microsoft may not like Xbox. When they get Activision, they want their return of investment back. He heard that Xbox has an insane showcase with tons of games, but there are going to be a lot of asterisks on them. The leak's happening because a Microsoft employee didn't want this to happen and leaked it, so there was a public outcry. Microsoft now has no problem buying more companies in the future, and he thinks they're going to go all digital with ads on Game Pass, pre-roll, and in the end of a chapter. Like a dragon, and the AI community managers. They're going to be community managers on Twitter that are going to be AI. If they're not already AI. How's that? They're going in with AI community managers for this shit, and they're going to be giving you ads in Game Pass.
Jez, Xbox is dead, but Microsoft Gaming is just getting started.
Exactly. That's a perfect statement right there. You're right.
Microsoft Gaming, Amy Hood, all them, Satya, they took over.
They took over. They went to Phil like, I got this ship right now. Thank you. Xbox could just, you could do a little. They basically we came full circle. We came full circle for Xbox being this little project, and now basically Satya's like, I got the rest. We got the rest of this here. We know the business now. And you could go make a little dongle here and there. We are done. And this is it. I'm going to tell you and I said this last night, that what's going to happen is that I think Phil's going to leave. Sarah may take over. Satya doesn't know anything about this. Booty's going to run his ass all over the place. And these studios are just going to fall apart, failed projects, come out with games that are just not up to snuff. And they're going to start getting rid of projects and getting rid of all these studios. They acquired so much so fast, and nobody batted an eye. Nobody said, hey, Phil, this Activision thing's been going on for over a year. Why don't we focus on what we have already, get the games out there, because we never even saw what 2018 studio purchases could offer us. Instead, everybody's like, what to buy next? That's all they kept talking about. Buy something next. Buy something next. For what? They haven't even shown you what they can do with what they have already. And before that, when they had everything, they still weren't able to deliver on first party. In 2016 and all that other stuff, they still weren't able to do that. So they had to buy these studios and Compulsion Games, Ninja Theory, Undead Labs. State of Decay 3 is still in development. I remember, Frogs, me and you and Smooth and Merc, we interviewed them the day they were purchased after E3. And they will just launched State of Decay 2. Those guys are still working on State of Decay 3, and it's 2024. We interviewed them in 2017 for State of Decay, which was a AA janky Xbox Live Arcade game. It's not even
that
a
State of Decay 3 trailer looked kind of pretty, right?
Where is it? Where's Everwild?
Right,
Where's State of Decay? Where's
customer.
Contraband? I remember Bootleg Jez was tweeting out, what tornadoes and stuff. Oh, Contraband. What happened to now? Car racing game with Avalanche. Where's that game? That was
What
shown
happened
in
to the glowing
2020.
mushrooms in Avowed?
Avowed. That's gonna. Wait. I'm telling you, that's the next. People, I'm telling you, these games have warning signs all over them. They have so many unannounced. They have so many projects that are announced without showing updates on them. These things went dark, perfect dark. They went perfect dark because that's another game we haven't heard anything for. And what are they gonna do? This showcase, they're gonna show this. They're gonna show it on the showcase, and what now? When everybody finally sees this roadmap, after you did the last 2 out of 4 years, you had nothing. Your 2020 year was delayed Halo. Your 2021 was the delayed game and Forza. Your 2022 had nothing. A delayed Redfall and Starfield. Pentiment at the end of the year. 2023 was basically your 2022 delayed. So you had 4 years where the initial year in each of like 2020 and 2021, 2020, 2021, 22 was supposed to have releases, which got delayed to the following years. And you went 2 years out of the 4 with nothing. And you have people paying a subscription service for it. And then when those games came out after the delay, they still were missing features. They still were not ready for anything. They weren't ready for AAA. Redfall got delayed a whole year and shipped without a performance mode.
Best deal in gaming.
And you're still paying a subscription. Perfect Dark, perfect Help. What happened to Times Square goddamn Crystal Dynamics? What happened to them? Perfect Dark. That got announced in 2020. Dude, we've
gotten to a point.
How do you expect it? Dude, how do you expect it, Frog?
I'm gonna tell you. We've gotten to a point in gaming where we've let the bullshit and the suits tell us what we do and don't like, and we know we don't like it. And not we as a whole. We're talking about the silly ass fanboys. They didn't speak up and say, "Hey, we want."
Well, now they are, because now they're getting abandoned.
We want to feel like we are the prize here. When we're buying your console, we want to feel special. That's what made 360 special with Peter Moore, and that's what made 360 special and so unique. And developers said, "Hey, we could see ourselves making games then. Mm-hmm. You make us feel special. You make the consumer feel special." It's not like that anymore. They got to the point where they got so freaking cocky. They're like, "Hey, we can beat PlayStation. This come out with a system."
Phil said he was great with the hardware. He loved the hardware. Yo, Big Razzo with the 5. He goes, "Hey, Jez, I feel like there should be a meme where Herman Holtz goes, 'In the end, there could only be one,' and then beheads Xbox." Oh, damn. Damn. Dude. Herman Holtz, man. Herman Holtz is sitting right now, just got like Jim Ryan is walking out of retirement on a friggin' going out on a horse.
I think Jim Ryan knew about this.
I think Jim Ryan knew. I'm telling Frog. I think
after all the court proceedings, I think Jim Ryan knew what was going to happen.
I don't know.
He's
man.
like, we ain't got to worry about. I can retire.
See, what's crazy, dude. Jim's in the back. That's right. Like, I don't, what's crazy is that I feel that they have been I'm telling you, Redfall, when Phil came out and did those interviews, I think that was the turning point. He must have got a talking to going, "Phil, this is $70 games. You increase the price. That's not going to sell." And then they put it in Game Pass and they try to patch it later. And then Starfield, it didn't do what it needed to do. And if you look at the reception of Starfield, look at the reviews on Steam. You could like Starfield all you want. What's up, Team Ambush? You could look at
but at the end of the day,
look at what Starfield's reception. Yes, the gamers have spoken. They have chosen. It's about player choice, right? Well, they're not choosing Starfield. It got a negative reviews. And you look at it, the reception was horrible. It wasn't optimized for PC. They're still fixing stuff 6 months later, fixing shadows and lighting. I read you the update. You look at Starfield, it had all loading screens that they hid on it, and then the game came out. You cannot financially recover from this. I just think Phil Spencer went to him and he pulled out a what is that? The lion guy.
One?
No, what is that guy? The friggin' that what is it? The oh, geez, the guy, Tiger King. He just went in there and they went in there, Phil. They're like, we're never going to financially recover from this.
So screw it. Let's kill ourselves.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it's just and I think Phil, and then when they put that console on sale at the holidays, and Forza again, another launch that botched, and then they look at it, and this console did not sell with reduced costs and $350, giving it away. It didn't do anything, and Sony's selling so much.
Nada.
And the pressure, I think, from the finance guys are like, "Yo, we spent all this money. The hardware's not doing it. They're not buying it. We need to start making games for the other platforms and ship them there because we are not selling over here." And the Game Pass stuff, the games now that we've purchased, because you got to think about it. Call of Duty and stuff like that. Call of Duty was not a cheap game to make. Those were not cheap games. There's a reason why Activision made one game a year and put 4 studios on Call of Duty. It's a big budget and there's expectations there. And to take that game and say, "Oh, just because we own it, now you're absorbing all those development costs." And you now have to put it in a subscription service and hope. Remember, they were talking 50, 60 million subscribers in order to offset AAA games in a service. And you saw how much it would cost for them to buy a game off the shelf to put in a service. It was like $5 million to put Star Wars Lego in Game Pass. You saw the cost that leaked down.
You're my number one customer.
They became between a rock and a hard place because they went all in on subscription gaming without knowing what the costs were going to be of their games and how the games were going to be received. And they didn't even have the studios when they promised this in Game Pass. They promised this with Sea of Friggin' Thieves Game Pass games. They didn't even own the studios in 2018 yet when they made this promise. That's how stupid their decisions were. They bet everything that they make in 2017, starting with Sea of Thieves, was going to go into Game Pass. They had nothing. They had no studios. They had 343 and Forza and Turn 10, and that was it. And that's it. They had like 3 studios, and they made and Rare. They made a promise going, everything we make, we're going in Game Pass. It's like day one. I'm like, you don't have anything. So then they gotta go buy studios. Horrible decisions. And everything that we are here on the cusp of this thing where they're going to talk about the business meeting and the Xbox business, we are here because of every step of the way that you followed us on, because we pointed out these things. Every way they went, they failed. And they tried to patch it up and redirect and pivot, and every which way they went. Game Night with the 5, he goes, also, Fable reportedly entered development back in March 2023. Xbox has a problem of showing games way too early. Why do you think that is? Well, Game Night, the reason why, and thank you for the super chat, the reason why they showed their games so early was because they had nothing coming out, and they had to buy the goodwill of the subscribers. So what they did was to show these games that they're working on, even though it was way too early, to just pacify the Game Pass subscribers. Also, if you remember, they let people convert and stack Game Pass up for years and purposefully did not stack it with content because they knew those people were riding on. Remember, you could upgrade 3 years of Game Pass of Xbox Live for $120 and pay $1 and make it ultimate for 3 years stacked. You don't think they're sitting there going, wait a second.
And guess what? They had nothing in those 3 years.
Purposefully. I think, and they did it on purpose because, and notice too, then when they took away the dollar bill Phil and the Chips Ahoy promotions of Game Pass, all of a sudden now they're like, okay, now here comes, they did it right before Starfield launched. They made sure that the dollar bill Phil wasn't around when Starfield was launching, right? But years for $1, Josh, right? The years they had it. And you could upgrade and stack, and people using, and even the rewards points. Oh, I use my rewards points to deduct and take it out there. People were making freebies off of them, and they said it's fine. And I'm like, guys, I had the Dollar Bill Phil episode. I'm like, you don't think, there's a reason why this shit is $1? Like, they are just, don't you think, this is not sustainable. Oh, it's fine. They got all the money in the world. Well, look what happened. They fixed their reward system, so now you can't get as many rewards in what you're doing. They took away Dollar Bill Phil, and now Xbox is in shambles, and they made it this way. You know, like Frog, if you're sitting there and somebody just keeps giving you something for free, just think if somebody just comes, don't you sit there and go, you know what, like, how am I going to pay for this? So like, because I'm that way. Like if somebody just keeps giving me something for free, I'm like, but wait, there's a catch, right? Like, you're not just giving me away this stuff. That takes time for you to make and stuff. You don't just give it to me for free without wanting something, or like, payment, or me to take you somewhere, or a favor to ask you, like. So there's no, like, if they're giving you something for free and all this stuff, it's a trap, right, Ozen? Like it is. It's
right. It's got to be something.
There's some catch there, and they were trying to get people the idea, and then what happened is that they strung these people along for so long that when they finally had games, they were conditioned to just get it for free because they cashed in on Dollar Bill Phil. They coached their core base to stop buying games. And now when they need these games to sell to make Xbox sustainable and to try to, now that they finally bought all this stuff, they're like, we got games now to sell you. They're like, we're not buying shit. Like, we're not buying anything. We're not buying it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we're not buying anything. We're done. Thanks. You gave us for free.
Yes, I would like to have a refund.
Yeah. And now you're sitting there. Nobody, and Game Pass is not, people are not subscribing because they learn to jump on, play what they want, and jump off. Nobody wants to sit there with 200 old ass games. You know, and if you look at the library, look at what they, and also, didn't people realize, look at what's been in Game Pass. Frog, it's been all indie games, hokey dokey games. Then they get some it's the old games they're getting in there, like 2017 games like that, Resident Evil 2, but not 3. You know, like old stuff. And Sony puts it in their service, but Sony's appeal was not day and date brand new games you're going to get, because that was the promise of Game Pass, because Game Pass was not for old stuff. It was for the new stuff. It's like, wait a second, I get to get everything that you're going to ever make first party. I get your whole first party lineup for $1? Sure. Yeah. That's what happened, right? So you're sitting there going, well, where's your first party? And it's like, well, we delayed it and stuff. And meanwhile, these people are paying after that thing, like drowned up. Because remember, it was only for 2 or 3 years. And they could stack for. And then they got rid of the stacking. And then they made it equivalent. So they built this whole thing. And they put themselves in this situation. And, you know, one thing I did want to bring up, and you know, we've been saying this here for the longest time, but I always brought this up as, you know, I always go back to the history books here. And we remember when Phil Frog, let's see if we can bring this back. When Phil talked about shutting down Mixer in 2020. How did we get here? Look, Phil says, I don't have any regrets about Mixer. But this was always the statement that Phil said. And let's now this is what I say. We read this now. Let's read this now, knowing what we know is going on with Xbox. It's obviously a disappointment when you try to grow something to the scale it needs to get to, and you don't get there. We make decisions with the best information we have at the time. You apply your best effort, and we're in a creative industry. We are in a hits-driven industry. And if we get into this space and we get afraid of disappointment, we won't achieve what we're trying to achieve as an organization. I think it's fundamental to us that we're not afraid of trying things that might not work. And this is just the art of making video games and, frankly, game platforms. But the main point is, when you try to grow something to the scale it needs to be, and I always said, what is Satya's number? We talked about it with Game Pass subscriptions. What was Satya's breaking point? And we saw it 2023 December, January 2024. The numbers made Satya go, where is it?
Stop. Enough.
Satya went in there and said, Phil,
stop. Enough.
We're done. get a business meeting. We are done. The Game Pass is, and look at, and again, you listen, and I want everybody, when you go out into Twitter and all these people that are complaining, what about me? What about the Xbox? What about the console? I have all the quotes from Phil that are in here when he said this. Like, how do you sit there and, he talks about.
Let's talk about Game Pass a little bit more, since that's a big bet for Microsoft. How many subscribers do we have now? And it does seem like a really good deal for the consumer, but what about the Microsoft investor? How is this a moneymaker for Microsoft?
Our last public number was 25 million subscribers that we've talked about.
We get an update?
Not right here, but we did talk about growth on PC. So our Game Pass subscription, not expecting everybody's following the video game market, is available on gaming consoles and on personal computers. And you can subscribe in both places. We're seeing incredible growth on PC. I think Satya Nadella in our earnings yesterday.
They were doing so well. What happened?
Talked about, I think, 130, 140% year-over-year growth on PC, which is really where we're focused. On console, I've seen growth slow down on Game Pass, mainly because at some point you've just reached everybody on console who wants to subscribe. And we don't see subscription, unlike some other forms of media.
So, there you go. Console, this is the end of 2022. End of 2022, this wasn't end of last year. This was the end of 2022. He said, console subscriptions have stalled because we've hit the max we were going to do and did not provide the update. And he said the growth on PC is great. That's where we're focusing on. When those words rung out in December of 2022, where were the spaces? Where were the podcasts? Where were the people saying, woe is me on the console, I'm concerned? You can't say that. That's negativity. They will shoot you down or call you a pony. Where was the I'm concerned? The man said right there, console subscription growth stalled. And didn't stall because of content. It stalled because he said we got everybody we were going to get. He wasn't like, oh, it stalled 2022 because we didn't have a lot of games this year, but next year with Starfield and Redfall, we should see huge growth in the console. He didn't say that. He said we stalled because we hit everybody we were going to hit. Where were the spaces of these console passionate people right now that are saying, Phil, what about me? Where were you in 2022 when that guy did an interview? You love when Phil talks, but you don't like to hear what he has to say sometimes. He told you right there. As a Game Pass subscriber, I will be like, oh, damn. Oh, no. We are in, uh-oh. What do you mean we're stalled? What do you mean Game Pass is not growing on console? Uh-oh, what does that mean? Are we not going to get that number? Are we not going to get more games? Are we not going to get new content? What kind of leverage do they have to put games in my service? Hello? Think McFly? Hello? Think McFly? Hello? Where were you? Oh, but now you don't like what that the console was like. Now you're worried. Now. Because back then it was fine. Oh, no, it's fine. Phil didn't mean that. What he said was, PlayStation's, it's growing on PC. Hooray! It's like, clown, where were you?
Just focused more on great games on our console that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality.
What he said was, no, he said what he said. What he said was, exactly, oh, it's fine. Phil, tell me more.
Think about console is it's your highest value gamer. It's your person who plays the most, they buy the most. But the thing that's also important is that customer is actually your most valuable customer across every device.
And that's why Phil was at a crossroad, ladies and gentlemen. He was at a crossroad. He said, hey, is it Windows gaming or is it the console people? That small install base that has not been growing. And you see where it is. He's willing to take that install base and say, good riddance to you. We are putting our games where they sell. He always said, we go, well, maybe I have that line here where it's about choice. It's about customer choice. And they've been listening. It's about choice, right? It's always about where, maybe this one says here you go. Look how, here's, because Phil did a lot of these things too. These interviews in Ijustine's basement. Oh, Jesus. 2 years in a row, Phil's with the ladies in Ijustine's basement, talking to them, telling them about the future of Xbox gaming, because Ijustine's basement we got to go into.
Showcase.
Tell us about it, Phil. Tell us about Halo.
Halo has been something.
Let's hear him hype up Halo, everybody. This is before Craig. Let's hear about Phil talking in Ijustine's basement, telling them about Halo before it releases. Let's hear about it. This is before Craig. Listen to this man right now and tell me he didn't know that this game was ass and in trouble.
Thing that you can tell us, or is there anything we might be seeing on Sunday regarding Halo?
As long as we don't tell Bonnie.
Yeah. Oh, Bonnie. Who is she?
The studio. So just between us.
Okay, just between us. Secret.
Hey, man, dirty ass Phil in the
cool
basement.
thing is where my office is, and this is in the building I'm in, and the Halo building's not too far away, so I get to sneak over and play. So we go over and do gameplay sessions probably every other week with the team, which is a lot of fun. I will recommend not playing multiplayer with the testers that are working on the game. It's just destruction.
Pre-Craig.
Game's playing great, looks great. It will be there Sunday, and I'm excited about what the team is showing. Halo, it's our 20th anniversary as Xbox, which is so fun, which means it's Halo's 20th anniversary as well. And there's just such an iconic partnership between what Xbox is and what Master Chief means. So the fact that this year we're going to get to ship our game and see it on the new consoles and stuff will just be great. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, it's there.
Okay, this is you guys heard it here first. This is incredible.
They didn't hear anything. Shh, secret.
You didn't hear anything first.
I mean, I think obviously it was a really tough choice to hold off on launching this, but like you said, this is such an important game, and I think doing it right means more to players than having it at the beginning. Obviously, yes, we would have loved to have it, but I would rather have a fully finished game and have a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw what happened, earlier this year with a game that was released and it didn't go as planned, so you definitely don't want that to happen. And I also think you guys made the right call, and we're just excited. We're not gonna be going anywhere. We're gonna wait, and we're gonna play, and it's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I mean, the energy that you feel when something like a big game like Halo comes out, just it's so almost overwhelming, like the interest and people trying to pontificate like what might be going on. But Sunday we'll do a good job. The team, I've seen what we're going to show. I'm proud of it, and I feel really good about the work that Joe and the team are doing in getting to launch. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yes! 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 Yes!
Pre-Craig interview. He saw what they're going to show. He's seen what it's a complete game. We glad. This is what he's doing. I'm excited. I played it. He's next to the what we're going to show, it's going to be there. Craziness on this one. But where do we go from here? This is where were these concerns? You hurt your franchises. This is what you did. And now he says, we hear you again. Well, let me ask you a question. I got this thing here. Now, hear this one. You're going to hear this first here, right? So Microsoft thinks, if this is true, that they're going to take their franchises. Now, remember, the reason why I brought up Halo, because if you remember, the excuses as to why Halo was missing stuff was because they were spread thin with PC and console Xbox development. Riddle me this, Grinders. Oh, get him, Grindhouse. Get him at the door. Don't mess at the door. Get him.
I've got news for you. You are mine now. You belong to me.
So, let me ask you this now. The same studios that Phil has, now this is counting all the layoffs as well, the scoping at the studios, all the same studios, the rumor started that they bought a whole bunch of PS5 dev kits. Riddle me this. If you think they were spread really thin with PC and all those configurations and booster and Series X, well, genius, let me introduce you to 2 brand new consoles with the PlayStation and the Switch dev kits. Enjoy. If you thought you were spread thin right now, you ain't seen shit. Because I just added now 2 more consoles to your already shrinking scoped dev team. So tell me this, and if they try to go day one everywhere as a multi-plat, they couldn't even handle it with their own console and PC. And now you think they couldn't keep the quality with those 2 devices. Now you're telling me they're going to add a PlayStation and possibly a Switch to the same studio that's struggling to try to get a game out on day one on PC and the console? Something's got to give. Something's got to give, and know what that is? Your console focus will be the PlayStation and the Switch. That Xbox will be kind of, yeah, we'll be getting rid of that. This is what I'm saying. How can these studios now, you took the same studio, Frog, and now you turned them into PlayStation 5 developers?
It's ridiculous.
Spread them thin? I remember them saying the reason why Halo didn't have the stuff was because they had all the configurations of PC to deal with. Now
it's spreading something all right.
It's spreading shit. That's right, Frog. It's spreading some booty juice. God damn it. Oh man. It's time. It's time. Hit that like button, Grinders. We got 330 people in here. It's spreading. It's spreading. And it stinks. It stinks. It stinks. Tell me that. How? If PC was a challenge, let's just add some more platforms for you to develop on and optimize for. Enjoy. Nobody's saying that, because if this is true now, they just got another platform to develop for. And here's the other caveat. If they're really serious about doing this, are they going to have a game come? Are they going to give you a cadence that it comes out on PC and Xbox first, and then 3 months down the line, 6 months, it goes to a PlayStation? Is that what they're going to plan on doing, or they're going to do day and date everywhere? Because if they do day and date everywhere, they're going to really be spread thin. But if they want to maximize their sales, according to the Twitter, you got to put everywhere day one on everything. Because if you put it later, it doesn't really do well. Well, then if Microsoft wants to get all their money back, then the thing they're going to do is put it day one everywhere. Right?
True.
So to maximize their sales on PlayStation. So because maybe they'll just play it on PC. I don't know. But all I know is that they got spooked. They're in trouble. And the weakest link, the thing that we've been pointing out, is that the console matters. And I think that's the biggest revelation of this whole thing. Console sales matter. And exclusives matter. And I think that's the biggest point that I want to say, because all I heard all these years was it's about engagement. It's not about console sales. It's not about exclusives. It's about engagement. It's a different time now. It's about where you play, and you can play it on your phone. Listen, all that stuff was smoke up your ass, because when it came down to it, when we looked at the NPDs, what the market was stating, where the real money is made, none of that stuff they talked about yielded that. And because of that, Xbox is in bankruptcy right now and is on the last strings of trying to save it. And now Microsoft couldn't even save themselves, and they need their competition to try to survive because they just bought a whole bunch of IP, a whole bunch of stuff, super quick, spent tons of Daddy Warbucks money, and now they're looking at their current ecosystem and going, shit, Game Pass is not growing. PC is only doing what it wants to do, but there's too much competition there. You're hot one day, you're dead the next. We've seen the max amount of Game Pass growth. They're not buying games on the console. They're not even buying the console. Phone market, the cloud market has just not been what we expected it to be. 2 billion gamers, he said he wanted to touch out there with strap-ons on phones. Well, that didn't work. Tell me how many more Razer Rikishis they made. I'll wait. How many more of Razer Rikishis have been made, Frog? How many controllers for your phone have been made? Is it a booming industry right now because everybody's playing on their phone? Anybody? Hello? Anybody? You know, that was the big thing. Cloud and 5G was going to save the day. Anybody? Anybody using the controllers, Rikishi controller? Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. That wasn't a market for them. And Phil said it on their oath. It turns out that people didn't want to play Gears of War on a 5-inch screen streamed over the internet with a controller that plugged into their USB that was $70. No shit, Phil. I told you that 4 years ago when everybody was saying this is the future. The cloud was used to test out games so you didn't have to download them. That's right, Don Juan. Grand opening, grand closing. That's exactly what that was. Nobody wanted to play big AAA games or whatever games you had on a phone, and 5G sucks. So the cloud didn't do anything. And now you got all this product. The mobile market shot down by Apple. You got all this product. Your PC market has tons of competition. Nobody wants to go to your Windows store. Steam takes 30%. And on the console, the last saving thing that you have left, the hardware is not selling. You discounted it. It could not win.
You just made the list.
And nobody's buying games because they want it in the subscription that they're paying for. So they're just sitting there waiting for content to be given to them for free, including their subscription. So the people that you said before, the people that buy the most and spend the most, you told them not to spend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Good job, Phil. Good job, Microsoft. I can't believe I don't have insiders. We don't talk to anybody. We saw this a mile away. It doesn't work. If you're just a normal, have a head on your shoulder, it doesn't work. It doesn't. There's no way.
Not at all.
You took the customer that buys the most and spends the most and gave them an out. You don't have to pay anymore. We're going to give you these games. Just subscribe. You even increased the price of Game Pass. They did it to themselves. All self-inflicting wounds to get to this point now where now they're going to sit here and have to now do a business
something like
update.
a big game like Halo comes out. Just it's so almost overwhelming, like that the interest in people trying to pontificate like what might be going on. But
if you knew the importance of Halo, Phil, how did you let it turn into the state that it was? Bad enough that they got rid of Bonnie. She was there forever. Insane. The disconnect, the cluelessness that's going on with them. And thank you, Gio. Here, you want to see, you think this is the first time? I told you, we're in the friggin' Matrix right here. Here's Phil Spencer talking about Redfall delay. These decisions are hard on our teams, making games for our fans. While I fully support giving teams time to release these great games when they are ready, we hear the feedback. Delivering quality and consistency is expected. We will continue to work to better meet those expectations. That is the delay of Redfall and Starfield. the mockery, delivering quality and consistency in the delay of Redfall. Followed up. Redfall. There's nothing more difficult for me than disappointing the Xbox community. To watch the community lose confidence and be disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm upset with myself. We'll revisit our process. And I think this is the thing that's hurting the most, and you go into these spaces that's been going on, is that he always addresses this Xbox community rather than just talking about upsetting gamers, upsetting the gamer, or just upsetting just gamers. Instead, he's upsetting this community, this Xbox community that he built, that loves him. So it's even harder now when they're seeing the quietness of Phil. He used to be, they wrote articles about him, about his transparency. Oh, he's so transparent. He tells you the way it is. He's telling you there's a business meeting next week. A business meeting. Where we're going to talk about the future of Xbox. And if he says that future, who's going to believe him? But he always says the Xbox community, because that's what it's about, the community. No, it's about the games, dude. It's not about the community. The community comes along with something games. And then here we are, 2020. Reviewed plans yesterday to continue a shared thorough launch. Team is doing great work in adapting. I've never been more excited about Xbox plans. We've heard you. We want transparency and authenticity. We plan to keep showing that way. Next step is not too much of a wait. Games. That was 2022. That was 2020, before he delayed Halo and you didn't get any games in 2020. But guess what, everybody? Through all these tweets, through all these years, it's fine. I trust him. He's so transparent. He's such a nice guy. There's no problems. I trust Phil. It's okay. It takes time. Let him take time. It's okay. Phil took it on the chin. He's so transparent. He's such a great guy. I met him at E3. He took a picture with me. We broke bread. We hung out. We did this. We did. It's great. That's all right, Phil. You promised games, but they got delayed. He's learning. He just got there. Oh, it's Terry Myosin. That's the problem. Guys, these tweets are years apart. 2020, 2023. 2022. This is a span of like friggin' 3 years. This is not one day. This is 3 years. And we still don't have the games. How do you think we got here? How are you surprised that you're on the cusp of Xbox business change when, in addition to all this, nobody's buying the console? Nobody's buying the games. Games were shown, and they still went out there. Think about if they... Frog, you bring this up. What happens if they never bought Bethesda? What would they be releasing?
Exactly.
Forza?
That's my whole point.
That's it. Forza and Avowed you would have got if they never bought Bethesda in the last 4 years. Halo, Forza, and Avowed. If they never bought Bethesda. Bethesda gave you Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, Redfall.
What we really got to talk about is if these games that may possibly coming, are they going to do well on PlayStation?
That's a good point. Let me read that super chat and we'll talk about that. JC, member for 10 months. He goes, Starfield going to give PS5, give Reforge his flowers. He leaked it 2 weeks ago and he was brutally attacked. And I bet those feel stupid. No, I agree. Yo, if he said, I remember he did that thing with that, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Thank you, JC, for the member of 10 months. Frog said it last year.
Yep.
Frog said it last year. He's like, Starfield's going to PS5. That's the only way that they could compete and make this game sell. So I give Frog his flowers. Reforge, you get a little bouquet, but I'm giving Frog the big bouquet.
Yeah, I said it last year. I
And that
knew
was
it
without resources or anything like that. That was just the intelligence of the gaming grindhouse. That was just Frog just said it. He predicted it.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You get a feeling about certain things, and when you see certain things, you can kind of say, you know what? This feels like it's gonna be this is and you know what? We're not always right, right?
No. And we don't have insiders
and you know,
either.
people
Yeah.
no, and people can say, oh man, you just got lucky on this one. This is something you kind of could tell, like, hey, this is gonna go multi-plat. And then when it came out and people were talking about it and the reviews you see, and I said, well, this game can only really move and do well if it goes multi-plat. And people, you're crazy. It's doing well enough. It's okay. Well, you know where it sold at? Steam. You know where it didn't sell at really well? On Xbox. And I had said that. I said if this game had came out and it was a multiplat, it would have fared better. People, oh, you're fear mongering. You just you're game. You're asking for games. You're what is it called when they say you're asking for games on your console that you don't have? What do they call you? They say, oh, you're port bagging, and I said, no, it's not that. I said, I think this game has potential, but it needs to be multi-plat. I said, with it launching, and it was supposed to be Xbox's biggest game, it didn't fare well. It came out and had a lot of issues, and it didn't fare well. And we're here now, and we're gonna see. We're going to see, and I think that you know, when it finally gets announced, because you know, it's just like the other games. When it finally gets announced and they're like, yes, it's coming to PlayStation, I would say when you get your Starfields and your Sea of Thieves and your Hi-Fi Rush, and just expect for some of your other bigger things to come too. And it's not the same. People are like, "Oh, what if Microsoft got Uncharted?" Well, the thing is, Sony doesn't need to bring Uncharted to Xbox. Uncharted sold well. Well, what if Microsoft got Last of Us? Well, Last of Us doesn't need to go to Xbox. Last of Us did well. All the games you speak of that are exclusive to PlayStation have done well. They don't need to go anywhere else. They may go to PC and they may get 1 million sales, but they really don't need to go any place else.
No, and that
They're
install
10
base
million
is so
plus.
small on the
They're
console.
10 million. They're 10 million plus selling, and you know some of them are close to 20 million. They don't need to be everywhere. If they come to PC, like I do expect that a lot of the PlayStation products that come in a year, maybe a year and a half to two, they will go to PC eventually, but they're not. Don't expect them to sell on the same level as PlayStation. PC guys don't play games like that. They're fickle. They're too busy running around talking about Power World. They don't care about Spider Man. PC guys don't care about Uncharted, The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima. They don't care about this stuff. That's why I don't think Sony's making a big push. They see the numbers and they're like, look, these PC guys really don't care about these games we have. So we can put them out there a year or two from now. Who cares?
Now, what do you think,
And
though,
it
what you were
really
saying
doesn't
before,
matter.
Frog, about these games going to PlayStation? Like, do you think they're going to sell like Gears now? They may say.
Okay. I think, in my personal opinion, if you do like they had their Gears remaster, almost remake. It was really good. I think
Phoenix Collection. Oh yeah, the first game.
If they do a Phoenix Collection, right. If they're smart, they either do it like this: they release the trilogy 1, 2, 3, and with the multiplayer, or to really get people in there, you release the first one and reboot that thing up. And just say, okay, here we go, 4K 60 or 120, blah blah. Really get that thing running well. Do cross-plat multiplayer. Really get that thing running well, and get people sucked into the mechanics, the story, and the gameplay. And then maybe you put 4 or 5. If I was them, in my honest opinion, the best thing they can do for the Gears of War franchise is reboot it. Reboot it from the beginning. And you don't call it Gears of War anymore. You just call it Gears.
Well, that's what they did before, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So just reboot it, Gears. Reboot it from the first one. Make them, make that story impactful. Put it. Give them the first one. You don't even have to work on the trilogy. Just reboot that first one. because then you get to put that second and third one out there, and the fourth and fifth one comes, you can redo the whole story. Same with Halo. I think in my personal opinion, at this point, I think that Halo Infinite is okay, but I think that it's kind of a lost cause. So unless you really, 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 really got content coming, which I don't think they do, reboot Halo.
Yeah.
Reboot Halo from the ground up. Make it a cross-platform game.
But dude, that costs money. No, they're just gonna port shit out. They got to make their money back quick. That's the rumor. So
if they want to
get their return investment quick, so they're just gonna slap a PlayStation sticker on these things and ship them over.
So
That's
if
what
they
want to
make the money, if they want to make the money quick, do some Master Chief Collection with Halo 5, bam, release that, and then later come out with Halo Infinite. But the rumor is that Starfield has DLC coming out, so they're gonna announce it, which I don't have a problem with. It's a newer IP. If they want to do Gears, I think that they could just do, retool it how they did with the remaster, do all the Gears games like that, and do 4 and 5 and release it in a package where you have all the Gears games. I think that that's kind of sustainable. You make a lot of money. Now, here's the thing. Gears is going to sell on PlayStation because you have a whole new fan base. You're talking about, and I predict.
I just put
Halo
out a poll. Will these Xbox games sell on the PS5 and Switch?
I predict.
Let's see what the grinders have to say.
Halo will easily sell past 10 million.
First off, Halo is free to play.
Right. Well, okay, but I say if they
Master
put
Chief
the story and
collection.
everything, Master Chief could easily surpass 10 million. Easily surpass 10 million, maybe plus. And I'll say the same thing with Gears. Easily surpass 10 million. Sea of Thieves, I think
No way.
you're talking about.
I
think Sea of Thieves. I think you're talking about 2 million players, 3 million players.
No.
I think you grow a little bit, but here's what I say: if you're gonna go forward and you want this franchise to grow, the next game has to be something special. So if you don't reboot it and you say what we have now is what we're gonna put over there, and we're just gonna retool it, remaster it. Okay, do that, but you have to have the understanding that once you remaster and you're going with this, people are gonna have an expectation.
All right.
I think they're gonna sell. I think those games.
So,
I think the only Forza game that sells is Horizon. I don't think Motorsport sells if they ever bring it. But I do think Garrett's. I think Halo. I think the Horizon series. I think I'm not talking about
at
$25 million.
$50, at $60, you think these games are gonna be? They're sitting next to all the Sony games. Here, let me give you a little visual here. Look at the kind of lineup that Sony has coming up here. You got Helldivers 2, Pacific Drive, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, As Dusk Falls, which is an Xbox game, and how those sell. Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, and then whatever Sony's doing. Listen, I don't think that these games sell. Like, I really think if Microsoft's putting these games over there, it is going to be a little blip. I think there'll be more troll buying to kind of share on Twitter than people actually buying these franchises. Because I'll give you an example. Look at Sonic. Like, Sonic being he wasn't they had to bundle him up with Mario Brothers to do a crossover to kind of make him kind of relevant, but Sonic just sitting on a console didn't really do that.
No,
because
he doesn't.
I told
He
you this
doesn't
before.
push.
Sonic had the identity of the Genesis, so when he was there, that was their bread and butter. That was their identity. So when a Sonic game came out, it was like, okay, this is their first party representation. Here we go. And when you got your first party going over there, Sonic doesn't have an identity sitting on Nintendo. Gears of War and Halo don't have an identity on PlayStation, and there's all this other competition. If it was dry over there, maybe they'll play it, but I don't think these games are going to do anything. I said this yesterday. I think that this whole thing, it is just another shit against the wall going wow, there's 200 million consoles out there. Let's just put the game over there. Just like they saw all those PC players. Oh, if we just put the game on Steam, that's billions of PCs. We're going to make tons of money on this game. Did they? No, because these games were more console associated. They were more console associated than PC associated.
And here's why I think Gears and Halo are successful, depending on how they do it. You do a Gears Marxist Phoenix collection, you do 3 games, and you just and here's why I say Sony doesn't have a lot of first party multiplayer IPs on their system. I think Gears sells because of the multiplayer component. If they do it right, same with Halo. I think Halo sells because of the multiplayer component.
But
There's not
but
a
you know
lot of
that the traditional sale game on a PlayStation is not really the multiplayer games
right. It's not the multiplayer, but I think
because
off the
those dudes
name
are
alone,
consumed by Call
right,
of Duty,
I think
Fortnite.
off the name alone with Gears and Halo, those are two IPs I think that would
It's not
ultimately
enough.
sell
I don't.
well on the PlayStation.
That's
I
why
think
I
they would
think
sell them.
that it.
But
Yeah.
but
No.
Jez, here's the thing. It depends on how they do it. If they're just bringing those games over and porting them over, maybe not.
That's what
If
they're
they're
gonna
saying,
do.
hey, if they're saying if they give Gears 2 and 3 the same treatment as they give that remaster from 1,
No.
yes.
But Frog, if
And
they're looking, listen, Frog, if they're
I
looking
think
to
if they
make
just
money,
if they just bring 360 ports over, no.
if they're looking to make a quick buck to get their return of investment, if they're panicking about the sales of all this consoles, of all this stuff, and they want to sell it, do you think they're going to spend more money to remaster it, to put it over on the PlayStation? Dude, they're going to slap a goddamn tramp stamp on it, PS5, and ship it. That's what they're going to do.
I don't think that
lowest
Gears,
common denominator. Let's see it sell. They're not going to invest more money
Gears,
in it. They're not.
I don't think Gears gets a straight 360 port over. I think it gets like a remaster kind of feel. Halo, it's kind of iffy. It could go either or. And I think
PlayStation guys already played Halo. It's called Destiny. It's the same controls and actually better from Bungie. It's basically they played Halo.
But I think the name. I think that name, and then like I said, it depends on how they go.
It's going to be just.
If you bring a Gears over and you remaster just like they did the first Gears, Ultimate Gears, I think that it's going to sell. Ultimately, it's going to sell. It's going to sell past 10 million.
No,
the same with
10 million just on the PlayStation.
Yes, on the PlayStation by itself. It easily
no way. You're talking about like it's going to sell like a PlayStation exclusive game.
A Gears trilogy, a Phoenix Collection is. A Phoenix Collection is remastered, just like I'm telling you, Jez.
It won't.
I'm telling you, and the reason it's going to sell is because PlayStation people, we're used to PlayStation people who play. They're used to single player.
No, because if they wanted to play Gears that much, they would have got Frog. They were giving Gears away in Game Pass. They were giving Gears away. You could play Gears right now.
But but you're looking at it. You're looking at it from the Xbox perspective of it being on Xbox and then ruin the franchise with 4 and 5. You got to look at this is a whole new audience. This is 100, and here's my belief. This is something that will come to PS4 and PS5. It won't just be this generation. That's how they're going to make their money back because they're going to say, hey, we can put it on PS4 and PS5. We give it that cross-platform kind of.
I think new games may do well. If a new Horizon, like somebody was saying in Japan, I think those might do well. But
that would actually, that would do well.
And you know, if they do remaster Marcus Phoenix Collection, that might do okay.
I think it would do well.
I think it has to be everywhere day one.
I think if they're saying here's the Marcus Phoenix Collection in Game Pass, right? And then they're like, here's the Marcus Phoenix Collection on PlayStation. It's $69 for 3 games that most people on PlayStation haven't played.
But see, Josh said right there. There's the thing. Like if they're gonna put $50, nobody's gonna be playing Gears for $50.
I think they do. For 3 games, a collection of
Rare
trilogy,
replay.
I think they do.
You could see from the chat, and actually, there's a little bit of a. Let me read the super chat here.
Go ahead.
Past the man's boobs. Oh damn. With the $2, he goes, I think Uncle Phil's going to retire pretty soon. I agree. I think he's on his way.
I agree.
He's on his way
totally
out there. Game Night just did a super chat here with the $10. Thank you so much, man. He goes, oh, hold on. Let me get that one. He goes, PlayStation aren't going to market or advertise Halo, Gears, etc. coming to PS5. But I really can't imagine Xbox titles selling in the millions on the PS5. Low, mid 100,000s, maybe. I'm going with the Game Night Frog. I got to go there.
Hands down, Gears and Halo would sell in the millions.
Dude. No way.
It would sell in the millions.
No way.
You gotta understand something, and I'm gonna tell you why they sell in the millions. They're not just gonna put it on PlayStation 5. It's gonna be a PS4, PS5 thing. Their user base is so big on PlayStation.
That game will easily new games out. Who's gonna stop?
And I hear you. And I hear you, and I don't think it's a problem with the PlayStation games. I don't think people are still going to buy their Last of Us Part 3s and their Spider-Mans and their Wolverines. I think it all depends on how Microsoft plays this. If Microsoft plays this too close to the
You're my
chest and
number
said we're
one
just going to put
customer.
360 titles on PlayStation, no, it does not sell. But if they take the treatment like first Gears game that they redid the Ultimate Gears,
yes, the Gears
if
Ultimate.
if they
But that was a
redo
reskin, though. That was a reskin.
if they
You're my number
hold
one
on,
customer.
if they redo it in that vein of 2 and 3, and it comes to PS4 and PS5, it's going to sell in the millions. It's going to easily surpass 5 million copies. Easily.
Oh my God,
Easily.
You're going
Easily.
crazy. That's an
I'm
old
telling
game.
you,
Nobody's
I'm telling you it
buying
will.
remaster of 5. Not even the Sony's cherished exclusive games
You
remaster
have
are selling in the millions.
You gotta understand something, Jess.
I was buying Gears for selling millions
You
on
gotta
PlayStation.
understand something. PlayStation user base is huge. If
But
they
they-
just
but
bring
they
it to
don't- but
PlayStation
Gears
5,
has
then
no-
maybe not.
Gears has no value, no identity on a PlayStation.
That's-
Only if
and
you're like,
that's-
hey, I'm gonna take this to like, oh, this is an Xbox game, I'm gonna buy it. Like nobody's
And
really
that's
buying
the
Gears
whole
for it.
point. People don't know what Gears are on PlayStation if they own
I'm
PlayStation.
telling you, man,
3s
it
and
is
PlayStation
another
2s.
failed. It's another failed adventure. All they're seeing is all they're looking at. Frog. This is something they've been since day one. All they're
I
looking
don't know,
at
man.
is the install base. They're looking at the size of the install base and going, "We got to get our games there." But they are not doing it. They put all their games on PC.
If they
Frog,
announce,
if I told you Gears was going to PC, you'd be like,
we
"There's gonna be millions."
we can't equate PC and consoles the same. I don't even like to talk about PC.
They
and
want me to
consoles
take
in
the
same space.
flowers back, Frog.
Because it's not fair to talk about PC and console in the same space and think that this game is going to come to PlayStation and it's going to sell like a PC port. It won't. It will sell better. It's going to sell better. I'm telling you, those two franchises alone will sell. I'm telling you, mark my words. The day that they say
Frog,
Gears
don't do it.
and
No.
look,
Don't mark
I'm
your
gonna make.
words.
Hey, mark my words. The
Oh,
day they
no.
say that this Marcus Phoenix collection is coming to PlayStation, and they give it the same treatment. Now, here's a
Is that an
caveat:
asterisk?
if they gave it the same treatment as the Gears Ultimate game, the first one, the only one they redid, if they give it that same vibrant treatment, it's going to sell big numbers. We're gonna see it in the millions, and people are gonna be like, "Oh man,
Holy
we're
shit,
gonna
no
see it in the
way.
millions."
No.
Same
way.
with Halo. People know. People even on people
we
on
just went
PlayStation.
through it with friggin' we just went through it Halo free on PC. If I would have told you Halo,
Why do we keep saying PC?
Because that is an install base that is huge.
No, but their PC people don't play. I just gave you a prime example of why you can't say PC. There's Uncharted games, there's Spider-Man games, there's all kind of Horizon games. They didn't sell on PC. But if you put Horizon Zero Dawn on Xbox, or you put a Spider-Man game on Xbox, it's going to sell.
Those games are friggin' quality. You're putting them over there.
But my whole point is, Gears 1 and 2 and 3 were quality. The Halo franchise is quality.
Games, though.
No,
they're old.
I
They're
hear.
like 360
I
games.
hear what you're saying, but I'm not talking about giving you what I keep saying is that if they give you a straight 360 port, no, it's not going to sell. But if they give you the whole
You're saying
shebang
if they
like they did with
remaster them like a Phoenix collection,
like the Ultimate, it has to be on the quality level of the Ultimate, which didn't look like a 360 game. It didn't look like a 360
it was
game.
an Xbox One game.
It was an Xbox One, and that's why I say it has to be on that level for PS4 and above for PS5. I think a freaking trilogy would sell well. I don't see how it doesn't sell well because you have a big fan base of PS4 and PS5 gamers who never played it. Now, if you're just like, here's some 360 games, shit's not going to sell. People are not going to buy it. If you're like, here's a Master Chief collection, it's 360 games, shit's not going to sell. People are not going to buy it. You have to give it the right treatment. So if they come out there and they're just throwing 360 ports, hell no, it's not going to sell. But if they take and it doesn't take much to remaster 2 and 3, because we looked at Ultimate and they already said it didn't take much. If you put 1, 2, and 3 on PlayStation, it's going to sell. I'm telling you, it's going to sell.
The grinders are going wild here. Michael Meridian with the 199. He goes, Jez, I think one bad port, say goodbye to PS fans. That's a true point. Like, yo, Frog, like you're talking about like they're gonna put care and quality in here.
And
I don't know, man.
That's the caveat.
One bad port,
that's the caveat. If it's just a 360 game, no, it's not gonna work.
All right, here we go. Guapzilla with a test. Oh, my goodness. With the 5. Shout out to Guapzilla. What's up, man? How you doing? Thank you so much. He goes, can Jez name any high 88 to 92 rated meta AAA games that don't sell on PlayStation? Install base will make them auto successes. So wait, can I name any high 88, 90 AAA that don't sell on PlayStation?
Dude, that a lot of them sell pretty well. I mean, I can name you a game that got in the 70s and sold past 10 million. Days Gone.
Ori.
Days Gone is a prime.
What about Ori?
Ori would sell. Well,
Did Ori sell
no, it didn't come on
millions?
PlayStation.
It didn't come to
But
PlayStation.
no,
yet.
I don't think. I think Ori would be a good seller, but I don't think it would sell millions upon millions because it's
not
not.
gonna
It's a
sell
platform
millions,
is
dude.
different. No, it's
But
not.
what I'm
I
trying
think
to say is that there's a lot more competition on the PlayStation Store that if you just throw a Gears in there, old game, it's not going to sell in the millions. People will check it out, but I don't think it's going to sell in the millions.
But
dude.
this is what I'm saying,
and also too, the thing is with the Metacritic stuff, like people don't sell based on Metacritic. There's a lot of Metacritic is friggin' like, I wouldn't trust their goddamn reviews all the time. Like that doesn't automatically indicate sales. But I agree. If you could correlate quality with sales, most likely they correlate with each other. But I don't think auto successes. Nothing's an auto success. Just because
you
of
keep
a
saying
rating.
something that it's not really making sense. If Gears 1, 2, and 3 comes to PlayStation, it's not an old game to PlayStation players who've never had a 360 or Xbox
But Frog, they're
One.
old mechanics. Gears 1?
It's new.
Dude, Gears 1 was corridor stuff. It wasn't open. Like these
what
are
I'm
like,
saying,
remember
it's
how we
still-
go nostalgia is a hell of a drug. You go back, they go, oh yeah, I remember Gears was great back in the day.
You're my #1 customer.
Like the Brumac you fought in Gears 1 was behind the wall. In Gears 3, he was running around with you.
And that's why I say it depends on how they treat it. If they just say, here's a 360 game, put it on PlayStation,
Frog, how have
not
they
gonna
treated
sell.
their IP on their own goddamn platform?
They treat them like dog shit.
So why would they
Gears
do it better
4
when they bring it to PlayStation?
And that's why I say it depends. If they say here's a 360 game, we're just porting to PlayStation, it's not going to work. But if they take the care like they did with Gears Ultimate and say here's Gears Ultimate 2 and Gears Ultimate 3 in a Marcus Phoenix collection, it's going to sell. I mark my words, it's going to sell. Because you have, and it's going to be a game that's on PS4 and PS5 because they see the user install
it will
base.
sell, but
they
it's not
see
going
the user
to
install.
sell. Like you're saying, tens of millions.
It will sell. It will sell at least 10 million between PS4 and PS5.
That's like Spider-Man numbers. It's not like
It
Spider-Man
will sell.
God of War numbers.
It will sell if you put 3 games.
That's not.
And they have the same
Nobody's
quality as
buying an
Gears
old ass
Ultimate.
collection of 10 million sales.
See,
you're not even getting 10 million of
Oh my God, Jez! I don't think you're listening. You keep saying because you know it. There's 120 million and almost 60 million PS5 players. There's 180 million people who don't know this franchise. It would sell 10 million.
There's your answer right there. They don't know the franchise. They're not going to buy it.
And that's my whole point. It would sell 10 million.
PlayStation will need to market it and sell like, here are the Xbox classics that we are bringing. You're right. That's what Josh is saying. Like PlayStation will have to market this thing and would have to like kind of make a promotion to get people aware of what this is. But if they just slap Gears in the store,
I don't think Sea of Thieves coming to PlayStation. I don't think Sea of Thieves
not selling no millions.
It's not going to sell crazy, right? But it's going to get some numbers, right? It is. I think same with Starfield. I think any game that's been associated with Xbox will get some numbers, but I think that when you say games like Halo and Gears, I think people know these names enough to say, hey, that's interesting. I'll try it out. When you say here's 3 games and you see the quality and it's like the Ultimate Collection, my whole caveat is they have to give it the care of the Ultimate Collection. That's basic. That's just a basic thing. It's an Xbox One freaking port. So what I'm saying is they can give it if they can give it the care and it's if they can give it the care, if they can give it the care, I think it sells. And here's the other thing: if it's only on PlayStation 5, no, it doesn't sell this. But if it's on PS4 and PS5, which I believe they will do with Gears, because I think they're like, we need this, dude. You're talking about close to 200 million between PS4 and PS5 subscribers. Why wouldn't you put Gears on both? Why wouldn't you? You can run that game easily at 1080p on a PS4.
I don't know, dude.
And look, I look at it as a whole game too.
I'm not buying that.
But like
one.
I'm saying,
I'm telling you,
you got 200 million players. I can say it's old all
You
day.
sound like
but
the
got 200
Microsoft
million
executives.
people
All
who
you're
don't
looking
know
at
it.
is install base, but you got to look at other factors. Like there's inherent competition there. There's notoriety. There's marketing. There's a lot of
The
factors
factor is
that do that.
If they don't do it justice, yes, it fails.
Well,
I think it fails.
Well, given Microsoft's track record, it probably won't do it justice. Let me get past the man's boobs with the two frog. He says Uncle Phil has taken over Frog's body, and everybody in the chat is going,
Stop! Enough!
And but Frog, I gotta say something.
Hey,
the chat is torn, though. I gotta go to the Grindhouse. The chat is torn.
We're going to sit back, and if this happens, you're going to say, "Damn, Frog, you were right."
I will say you were right. If I see 10 million,
I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
High. Not like this.
This is how it gets to 10 million, and here's exactly how it has to be. It has to be on PS4 and PS5. Has to be on PS4 and PS5. It has to be the same quality as Gears Ultimate. If it's just a 360 port, no, you don't see close to 10 million.
Frog, how did Gears Ultimate sell to their own customers?
I think it only
it was
like
a $40 game that came out the same year as Halo 5, and nobody talks about it.
Yeah, I think it sold like $1.5 million, something like that.
So wasn't it 10 million on a PlayStation?
But you can't. But you're not giving it. You're talking about a console that was already on. That makes no sense. Like how many copies? Hold on. How many copies of The Last of Us 2 sold? Did it sell as good as The Last of Us 1? No, it didn't. No, but my whole thing is, did The Last of Us 2 sell as good as The Last of Us 1? No, because people already played it. So my whole point is, you reached a whole audience. You reached a whole new audience that never played the game. You got close to 200 million. Look, if I was Microsoft, the smart thing to do is give this thing care. Mark's Phoenix Collection, PS4, PS5. PS5, actually, you get the 4K 60, the 120. PS4, you get that 1080p, that 1440p on the Pro. But you do that. That's how you grow this game back. That's how you bring this game back in this franchise. You get people back in.
Therapy quantified with the $5. He goes, for Gears to sell like Frogs is saying, those games would have to be remakes, not just remasters.
And that's what I said. Or they remake it. They reboot the franchise from the ground up.
Frog. Jim Ryan just sent a message out from the retirement home. We got to play this. We got an early message here. Oh my goodness, hold on.
Kagede.
Oh my goodness. We got a message. Jim Ryan has something to say about the situation. They got in touch with him. Jim, tell them what you got to say.
Fan no minasan no okage de PS5 を発売できました。とてもうまくいきました。いいですね。ファンの皆さんのおかげで PS5 を発売できました。とてもうまくいきました。
Oh my god.
いいですね。
What's going on here?
ファン
My God, breaking news, Jim Ryan.
Oh my gosh. What's really going on?
Jim Ryan, son. Oh.
Look,
snakes, he said.
Let me tell you something, Jazz. We always say give credit where credit's due, right? And as a person who's gamed all over the platforms, right? I could definitely tell you, like, the Gears series was decent when it first came out, and it started
of course
faltering.
it was. Cliffy B talks about it all the time.
After Judgment, right? Look, after Judgment, and all, and Cliffy B, I do think that this game has the ability to come. Same with Halo. I think Halo 1, 2, and 3, even 4. I didn't really have a problem with 4. 5 was a little and 6 was Infinite was like, oh. But I just think that we can look at something and say, hey, this could possibly have legs, or this is no way this has legs. And I definitely know that when I look at Gears and I look at Halo that they can have legs on the PlayStation system. There's no doubt in my mind. Forza, hell no. Forza is going to get destroyed by Gran Turismo.
The other one, yeah. Past the man's boobs. I got you one. Oh, wait. Well, I'll just read through all of his. He says, I think Uncle Phil is going to retire pretty soon. He goes, Frog's talking crazy right now with another 2. Hey, Past the man's boobs continues with another 2. He goes, Uncle Phil has taken over Frog's body. Oh, damn. Uncle Bill. But Jim Ryan speaking facts, Grinders. I tell you, Jim Ryan's son. I love the end when he's like, you snakes. He goes,
I'll tell you right now,
wait, I
Frog.
got to read one more down. I think I'm sick. Oh, wait. The game night 1, 2, 3 with the 5. He goes, if PlayStation fans wanted to play Gears, Halo, etc., they would have bought an Xbox en masse, not wait till they come to their platform. There you go, game night. And I'm ending this poll right now.
You guys are delusional.
They're the Grinders. Well, I'm coming
No,
the poll.
listen,
Good.
you guys he literally just took the words right out of my mouth. And you've already seen it with People Can Fly, which, that Outriders game, which was okay. It was made by the same people who made Gears. And guess what? People did not flock to it. Frogs.
They made Gears Judgment and
listen.
I tell you this. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I've owned, like I said, all of us have probably owned all or most of every console that's ever came out, right? I've owned most of every console that's ever came out, bad or good. And you can see an IP, and you can see it have the power. Gears has a lot of power. It doesn't like it did in the past, but it does. Same with Halo. And I keep saying
where's that power for Xbox then?
The power is not.
It's all powerful.
Come on now,
come
on now. Let's be real.
Wait, so it can be powerful for PlayStation, but not for Xbox.
That's a Microsoft kid. I'm telling you, dude. They're not doing it.
Wait.
I think Jim Ryan has to repeat his message again.
We know the power dropped off when Judgment. That's when it started going downhill. 4, it started going more downhill. 5. So what I'm saying is, I'm just talking about the first 3 games.
Frog, they're saying that you're sitting in a yellow chair, Frog. Not like this.
I can't speak past that. All I'm saying is,
they got Frog on a yellow chair.
I hear it, and I'm willing to bet you because look. I'm not a Gears hater. I actually like Gears, man.
I think Gears.
But what I'm telling you, bro, is, dude, nobody on PlayStation has a cult-like mentality to the extent of what these Xbox guys go through.
No, I agree with that.
If they wanted to play Gears, and I said this in the chat prior to coming in here, they would have bought an Xbox, bro. It's not like Xbox is.
I think y'all are wrong,
bro.
I think y'all are wrong.
If it has the power that you says that it has, then I don't see why.
Oh man,
I think if we get a Marcus Phoenix collection 1, 2, and 3, and then it gets announced to PlayStation, they can at least give and they can at least get the same quality and care as Gears Ultimate, the remake.
You know why I say no? You want me to tell you why I truly say no?
It's gonna. I guarantee it sells.
You want me to tell you why I truly say no, Frog? I truly say no because you're gonna have to pull these folks from their other multiplayer games. Y'all like to play like PlayStation has no multiplayer games. In reality, they have the most multiplayer games. They're just not first party.
Yeah,
they're not first party.
Gears won't.
But there's multiplayer games. There's multiplayer games all over PlayStation. I'm telling you, it's not about that. The thing is, what Xbox gamers call quality, PlayStation gamers aren't calling quality.
That's what I was saying. And Jim Ryan has another message for everybody again. He came back in.
Fan no minasan no okage de PS5 を発売できました。とてもうまくいきました。いいですね。
Also,
hold on, I got a question. Wait, I got a question. So, at any point in Gears history, from the 360 on, same with Halo, do you think they're quality games or no?
The problem is there's too many things to compare it to on PlayStation.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just talking about you're comparing it.
It's
I'm not comparing it.
It's quality when it's not on PlayStation.
I'm not comparing to any
too much competition, and they don't even care about their own.
You guys are.
I'm not playing.
You guys are comparing to. Wait, listen. You guys are comparing it to this PlayStation game and that PlayStation or whatever. I'm just comparing it to its own self. I see the quality with Gears. Hold on, I see the quality with Gears and I see the quality with Halo. You act like these franchises weren't selling millions upon millions, and you act like, and the other things we act like there's not a big install base for PlayStation. I gave the caveat: PS4, PS5 cross. It's on both consoles. It's going to sell millions. It's easily going to sell millions.
Well, I
So
think
now
let
me ask you a question. How do you pull gamers from their current multiplayer games that they're currently playing and tell them to go play Gears? How do you do
What
that?
current multiplayer games are we talking
Fortnite?
about? If we're talking about the Fortnite,
Rocket
we're
League,
talking about
COD.
hold on.
How are
Right,
you pulling them
that's what I'm
from
asking.
that?
If we're talking about just the biggest games that are everywhere, yeah, you're gonna have a harder time. But that still doesn't stop the game from selling.
Yeah, but
That still doesn't stop.
dog,
That still doesn't.
you're giving the game more credit than it's worth, though.
No, that still doesn't stop the game from selling. A lot of people didn't just buy Gears just for multiplayer. The multiplayer was like, oh crap, it's actually good, and then people started buying it for the multiplayer. Halo was bought for the multiplayer first, and then they fumbled the bag a lot. So that's why I say, like, the day will come if this happens. We're going to see this stuff sell if they do it right in the right care.
But
And that's the whole caveat.
For multiple generations. This isn't
We
just one
haven't.
generation, Frog. Yeah, we have. Dude, do you think these PlayStation people wouldn't have bought a 360 to play these games that you're saying is so great that it's going to pull them from whatever
They're
current
not going
multiplayer game that they're playing, bro?
Not now.
Then the Xbox One, when all they did was took the old ones and then put them on Xbox One, and still that wasn't enough to pull PlayStation fans from whatever they were playing to go and play Gears. Gears has power when it's on Xbox by itself to Xbox fans, not to PlayStation
Because it has an
fans,
identity
or on
there.
PlayStation where there's other games to directly compete with that game.
I think we will directly see.
That's what I said.
If it happens,
We're gonna have
and
this
it's in the
week.
right care, I think we will directly see.
I will preemptively make a bet with you on that.
Sure.
I
will. But if Gears or Halo
I'll keep
comes,
it friendly.
That's if it comes there.
I'll just do a quick $20 bet, and it looks like what it appears is that some Xbox games are coming to PlayStation.
Right.
Now, what you're gonna find out is that not only has Game Pass sucked the wind out of any of those games from selling on PlayStation, but if you believe for a second that any of those games are going to gain traction with all these new games that are coming out, boy, you about to see these shits get stomped into the ground.
That's what I was saying too.
And I agree with you. A lot of them won't gain traction, but there's some of them that will. Maybe 2 or 3 of them will.
If you believe Halo Infinite is going to gain traction,
Halo Infinite will not. Halo. Okay, and this is why I particularly said what I said. That's why I had my caveats. I said the first 3 Gears. I said like maybe the first 3 or 4 Halos. All of them aren't going to gain traction. If you say, hey, Gears 5 and Gears 4 on PlayStation, that's not going to sell. Nobody cares about that. You give the first 3 and a Marcus Phoenix collection, it's going to sell. The same with Halo. I think it has to have the care put behind it. And just like I said, I don't think Sea of Thieves does anything.
I bet you that 4 and 5 would sell more than the original 3.
I don't think so.
I believe so. They look better.
I don't think so.
They look better.
Have you played? Wait, have you played Gear Ultimate?
The people you're talking about that they're trying to sell to have not played.
I'm asking you. Have you played Gears Ultimate?
I did.
Played the 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And Gears Ultimate was perfectly fine. It was a good looking game.
It was perfectly fine, but Gears 4 and 5 look much better.
And they were worse games. Narratively, they were worse games.
But that doesn't.
That's
matter.
why they. Okay, hold on. That's why they didn't sell as much as 1, 2, or 3. That's why they didn't sell as much as 1, 2, or 3. That's my whole point. I'm going to. You're talking about the great games versus the trash ass games made by Coalition.
But you
4 and 5 didn't sell. It didn't matter about graphics. They were bad games.
You're missing the fact that the people that they're selling to have not played Gears. So how would they know this?
That's what. That's why I said you only release the first. That's why I said you only do the first three, the ones that we know are good.
No, but
if you know 4 and
gamers
5
don't know this. This is what I'm telling you. The gamers that you're talking about, remember, they
bet
wouldn't
is-
leave PlayStation 3 to go to 360 to play it.
man.
They
And
wouldn't
see,
leave
we're-
PlayStation
I'm not-
4 to go to Xbox One to play it. They wouldn't leave PlayStation 5
We're
to go
not.
to Xbox
See,
Series
I don't know
X
why y'all.
to
I
play
don't.
it.
That makes no. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about leaving the console to go to console. We're talking about this game is on this console now. Will they play it or not? Yes, they're gonna play it. We're gonna when it comes out, we'll see. When it comes out, see, and we'll sit back and we'll say, "Damn, you know what,
I think
Frog?
we need to break bread and have to show undercover people." Like,
if Gears is done with
people
care,
getting
if Halo's
tattoos.
done with care, and,
You know
and
what
it's not
that
Halo
is?
Infinite, guess what happens?
That's your
it comes out, it
nostalgia
sells.
kicking in, Frog. So
No, I'm
Frog.
telling you what's gonna. I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
Tattoos
I'm
at
telling you what's
FanFest.
gonna
We need-
happen.
Oh Jesus! They were getting haircuts. What the hell? Dude, we have to show this. They were giving haircuts over
Hey,
at
Sea of
FanFest.
Thieves is not gonna sell. Starfield is not gonna sell. There's a lot of games I can tell you that are not gonna sell. They put Redfall on PlayStation, not gonna sell. Indiana Jones is not gonna sell. I can tell you all the games that haven't even come out that won't sell. Avowed is not gonna sell. Hellblade 2 is not gonna sell. There's a lot of games that come to PlayStation they won't sell. There's certain games that will sell. The name is big enough that will sell themselves.
Okay.
PlayStation fans don't have after they will sell themselves.
Stop.
So we'll
Enough.
just have to see.
Stop.
Such as what?
Enough.
Mr. Yellow Chair.
Which is the game? Which are the games that will sell? You told us everything that
we're
won't
done
sell.
with this.
Oh, okay.
We're done. Frogs. the $20 is on the table. That's it. We're looking at FanFest now. Everybody getting back tattoos and getting haircuts. Some guy has a Fu Manchu.
You know what another thing is, Frogs? And no, I'm not jumping back into that conversation, but
man.
a lot of the games that sell really well on PlayStation usually are marketed heavily by PlayStation. None of that is going to happen with
None
Gears.
of that's going to happen. Well, oh yeah, that was something that came up too. Vid brought it up. Thanks, Vid. He says Xbox news just keeps rolling. 343 new job listing says the next Halo state that new hire is going to be for all platforms. That's what it said in their job description because, everybody gets LinkedIn news there. It says for all platforms. It doesn't say for Microsoft platforms or Xbox. It says for all platforms. So they're keeping that door open.
Well, you know what really screwed Microsoft? And I thought about this. I was going to talk about it tomorrow, but fuck it, we're here. The thing that really screwed Microsoft is that ruling with the Supreme Court and Apple.
Yes.
And them not taking up that whole mobile thing. They're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Because EU isn't even the biggest section over there in Europe. Like that's the crazy part about it. Like the UK gaming is bigger in the UK than it is in Europe. Believe it or not. And dude, it's not gonna work out for them, man. And you know what? Good for them,
dude.
Fuck
And
them
that's
and
what
everything they were trying to do.
And they panicked, and that was like the whole thing about this return on investment. I think that also affected them because, like, you saw what they got. They basically showed like the revenue, and they probably looked at what it was, and remember there was like the cost for everything was like $400 million, like in addition to what they're making. So we don't know what their profits were. And you look at it, and I bet you when they saw the numbers, they were like, wait a second, the console's down. Activision cost this much. This is how much they contributed. But remember, everything that Activision has put it on, Microsoft has to give a cut to everybody because it's nowhere. It's not on their own store. So it's on Apple. It's on this. And they have to give a cut. All the Candy Crush microtransactions, that has to give a cut. And that's the thing. Like, they're seeing all these cuts, and they're not getting a full return on a sale. So they sell something, they got to give royalties to somebody else. Sell some royalties to Apple, royalties to this, royalties to Google. And they're probably looking at this going, you know what? We need to put this in more places because we're not getting the full return of investment, and we need our money back now. And when you spend that much money, all eyes are on you. Investors, all of them are on you. And when that Xbox is sitting there and they're like that's your console install base. It's not selling. What about PlayStation, Nintendo? That's at 200 million. Like I said this yesterday when we were talking about it. Don't you think all those little updates are like, hey, 50 million consoles sold, 40, 45, 50 million. All those little reminders that Sony puts out there publicly, it's got to be a twist in the knife for all those investors and Microsoft going, that install base is huge. Like, it's growing crazy. Why are we not over there? And
yeah, and the investors don't give a damn about none of this console war bullshit that everybody else cares about.
Yeah, it's not growing the console. The console hasn't sold anything. And here's that article right here. Well, here's the job selected here where it says here, set clear design goals and deliverables, focusing the systems design team on achieving high-quality, cohesive experience for all players on all platforms. That is for 343's job posting there. So
I'm gonna be real with you. They can keep all that shit over there. I mean, bring Gears for sure, but the rest of that shit, they can keep that over there.
All they're seeing is the same kind of rosy-colored glasses they saw with that install base on mobile and that install base on Windows. They saw all these potential customers, and it didn't work. That's why
they thought they were going to be able to place another judge and help them get a judgment. Supreme Court said, "You can go fuck yourself. We're not even listening to this shit."
I'm telling you, they just saw these install bases and thought, if we just put a game over there, it's gonna go bonkers, and it's not. And Miss Dennis says, like, what do I think about PS? I don't think Halo will do incredible on PS5. I think it would sell. Like, nobody's not gonna buy it, but I think a Master Chief Collection might do okay, but it's not gonna be this like gold mine, striking gold or hitting oil by putting Halo on.
You know who's gonna buy that if they did?
The guys that moved over from Xbox.
Yep, you're gonna buy it.
I'm not. I already have it. I'm not buying it again.
No, but I'm saying all of the
people that migrated,
the new migrants who are upset with
Xbox refugees.
They're gonna buy it. Frogs is gonna buy it. Maybe.
Frogs gonna buy the whole collection. He's gonna dress up as Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah. Gears collection. He's on that day one for sure. He's on that day one.
Yeah. Sure. Liquid Data with the 5. He goes, they are finally finding themselves. Their name is Microsoft, not Micro Hard. Oh, damn. I'm like, they are looking. I'm telling you, man, this is a panic move. Hit that like button, by the way. This is a panic move, and this is a reactionary to the dire sales of the hardware and spending so much money. And you know what? It's like buyer's remorse. It's like when you're shopping for the holidays and you're buying all this stuff, and then here comes your credit card bill in January, February, customer. And you're like looking at it going, oh man, I spent that much money. All right, we got to return some things. Like, all right, well, we're not eating out this week. You know, and that's what this is. Like, they basically spent crazy, and now they're looking at the results, and they're looking at their credit card statement, and they're just like, well, we need to do something right now. They let go of 2,000 people the week before, and now they're doing this. And you know, just like what Frogs was saying before, but I brought this up, and the thing is like, sick. Microsoft was struggling with their studios to try to make games on PC and on their console. Now they're just adding another console and possibly a Switch to that same small group of developers that are struggling. What kind of quality are you going to expect going across all these things? They're not built as a third-party studio. They keep their guys small and nimble and divert, like all this shit that they create. These little development teams. They're not built to support multiple platforms like this. They're not. And maybe they're going to rely more on Activision and Bethesda since they are traditionally multi-plat, but their own first-party studios like Ninja Theory, all them, they're not built like that. 343, like that's why 343 struggled. They weren't built to put games on PC and console on the same day. That's why all that shit was missing.
I heard somebody say, well,
You're my
if
number one
PlayStation
customer.
is getting all Xbox games, then Xbox need to go and get Spider-Man. I said, wait, what?
What the fuck? Yo, those people on. What?
Man, hold on. Like,
I love the people that go, well, what are we gonna get?
I'm
Nothing.
like, what do you think you're bargaining here?
I know you're going. You go into a casino with 2 empty pockets. What do you think? Oh, I'm going to win millions tonight. No, you're not.
It's all happening because of y'all.
Exactly. Oh,
I hate to tell y'all Xbox guys, and I know there's some Xbox guys in here, man. I hate to tell y'all did this to y'allself. We tried to warn y'all a long time ago, but no, Game Pass.
For
I
$1.
discovered a
This is
new game
wonderful.
on Game Pass. I discovered a new game on Game Pass. I would never pay for $70 games. They went on a whole tirade at the beginning of the generation.
Oh, my God.
$70 game?
Cheap ass Phil.
No.
Oh, no. That's too expensive. Like, $70 games. And then they made Redfall $70 and there was those crickets.
It's $70 games, and now it's, why is this happening?
Yeah, I know.
Are you kidding me?
It's insane. Why is this happening? Why? They're in these things. They're like, why? How is this happening? I'm like, every month you saw the financials going down for Xbox was -15, -30, 3-1, 8-1 in France. And everybody was just sitting around. Where were the spaces then? Where was the emergency YouTube calling of the arms going, guys, the console's not selling. What is Xbox doing right now? Instead, they're
I
like,
don't know if you talked about it. I'm
fine.
gonna assume that you did, though. The whole response from Phil.
Oh yeah, that was like the first thing there. But what do you think about it?
Listen, man, if
Business
y'all
meetings,
was
right? We're
worried
going business.
before, y'all should definitely be worried after that response.
That's
'Cause
unfeel-like.
He didn't come out and say, "Oh gosh, no, where did you get that from?" Oh no, those are just rumors. That is not true. He didn't come out and say anything like that. He came out and said, "Well, guys, we're gonna let you know what our business strategy is. Give us about a week, and we'll inform you guys of
right?
what's next for Xbox."
For Xbox, like, wait, Phil, do you mean Xbox PC and cloud and console? No,
This is
I
the
think
first time I've ever heard them respond directly about that piece of shit console. man.
Right? Yeah, like because it's so funny because you're looking at this and going, well, wait, Phil, when you say Xbox, you mean like the Xbox family, right? The PC, the cloud. We're going to talk about that, right? This is Daddy coming home and telling you that Mom's kicked me out of the house. That's what this is.
Yeah, no, right now they're figuring out how they're gonna break it, but spin it at the same time.
Oh yeah, they're not going to go.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, they're not going to go
they-
like here's a list of games.
Yeah, they don't know exactly how to respond to this, but it's already come from the top, and I don't think that this was a Phil Spencer situation. I don't think. I honestly don't believe that he wanted it to go this way at all, but I think he is not putting up the results that he needs to put up in order to keep things the way that they were. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, the shareholders are not gamers. They only know one game, and that's how to make money. And if their money isn't making money, things are about to get cut. And the hardware, they've been wanting to get rid of that since like what, 2014, 13?
Yeah, they've been wanting to. I think they've been wanting to get that. Let me get Waleed is now a game cat, specifically a white tiger with a 2. He goes, bro, that opening song is hilarious and VR2 rocks. Like, thank you, man. Oh, I'm glad you like that opening song. I'm going to close the show with that song as well. But yeah, just reading his thing again, coming back to it, we're listening and we hear you. He goes, we've been planning a business update event for next week where we'll look forward. So first off, it's not a game show.
Don't go all the way through it. Don't go all the way through it.
So what do you think there?
Who in the fuck does that randomly?
A business update event.
Business update that
Valentine's Day week.
No. And ask yourself this. Who in the hell, even if they are your consumers, right? Why in the hell are you discussing business strategy with people you're trying to sell your business to?
Exactly. You don't go to the consumers going, we're giving you a business update event. This is usually for the stockholders and stuff. You don't give business. You go to CNBC or to give a business update event.
Exactly.
You don't announce this to we've listened and hear you.
Money.
You don't
What do
announce
they
this to
call it?
community.
Money Life. Money Life.
Yeah, like
where
Money
they
Life
usually
or
go?
like those things. Yeah, you go on to like a business channel and update. We've been planning a business update event for next week. So he may do this on like he's going to be there was rumors that he was supposed to be on like CNBC or the Final Bell today or something like that. So maybe that meant for next week he's going to be on one of those shows that he loves, with Todd Howard when he went on the MSNBC or whatever like that and just say, we always talk about putting our games everywhere. So moving forward, we're definitely going to embrace what Activision has allowed us to do. And now we're going to be putting our first-party franchises or our franchises on the PlayStation and Nintendo Switches because our point is to be everywhere. And, starting with Hi-Fi Rush, maybe he'll say that, and that's it. But they're going to leave it open to interpretation. He's not going to be like, that means Halo and Gears and all that other stuff. And they may switch. The other thing, too, is that they may switch that whole, and we'll be bringing games that are not, in our service immediately on day one. Maybe he says that. That's the other rumor, too.
The thing is, I think, honestly, if we're going to be realistic here, I'm not sure if a new Xbox will exist. What this would do for them is this would take away the boundaries that they have for purchasing other companies if they did go this route, because nobody would really care because everything that they're doing is completely multi-platform.
Exactly. It's like a
The
10 cent.
problem with that, though, is it gives Microsoft too much control while they still have a console in the market, meaning I'm not going to fully utilize this platform. I'm going to purposely gimp your platform and make it seem weaker than what it is because I control the development of the product that you're consuming.
Right. And know what else? Like maybe all this regulatory stuff, and when these lawyers were going through these things, they're like, we have a good case here, but it's this console that's really not allowing us to get, to really fight this. And I bet you that brought to their attention of how an Achilles heel the console being the marketplace, especially what Call of Duty, because it wasn't even putting the game in Game Pass or on the cloud. It was more of like, you can't make it exclusive to sell your console. The console was like the Achilles heel in the deal. That was the thing they were fighting for. And I bet you all the costs and all that stuff, they're like, guys, if we do this again, that console is a black eye for us. And look at the sales of it. If we just sever it or not prioritize it, let it just fade away, the next time we make a deal like this, we do not have to have this platform here that's going to restrict us and have these regulators deny our notion of buying something. Because Embracer doesn't face that, Tencent doesn't face that because they don't have a platform. They don't have a platform. And Sony, I think, called them out. I think Sony highlighted that. I think Sony, Jim Ryan, I think, pointed it out without going quietly into the night. I think he emphasized that stuff, that the platform matters, and made everybody look at, because remember, they all jumped on Jim Ryan's his email, right?
Yeah.
The CMA did. But that console was the Achilles heel, and I think Sony highlighted that, going, well, wait, they get to Call of Duty and just put it on their Xbox, and that will hurt us. And everyone's like, oh, they have a console? And then a year of debates and stuff. And Jim Ryan, instead of just being like, yeah, I agreed with Phil, we're good, he made a fuss and he highlighted their console and made it the Achilles heel that it was, and probably led to its demise now, where now the finance guys are looking at it going, dude, it's not even selling. But it's the Achilles heel when we make a deal. And there you go. And now we're there. But what's interesting, Sick, while I was reading this, I don't know, what were you going to say? Sorry, I cut you off. What were you
no. You
Sick,
pretty much tapped it.
No, it's interesting. Listen, this is crazy. And I'm thinking about this when you said about the business update event.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that what Tim Stewart did with Wells Fargo?
Yep.
So what is
and
it?
And they all said he was lying.
He was lying.
No, Phil isn't going to let that happen. No.
But what he said was,
fans said that he was lying.
Yeah, Windows Central proved that Tim Stewart was lying to Wells Fargo.
How?
Yeah. Which I don't even understand why Phil even did that friggin' interview. That kind of like, that was the time to just say, yes, Tim Stewart's right. Competitors that we won't see as competitors, we'll be using them to sell our games there as well.
Tim
And that was
Stewart.
it.
Tim Stewart has no reason to lie. He's not a customer facing
a
person.
finance guy.
Yeah, he's the CFO.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me the people that's pulling the wallet strings don't know what the hell they're talking about?
Yeah.
See, that logic just doesn't make sense with me, man. And that's kind of where Xbox fans lose me, because they make up their own scenarios when the true scenario is right there in your face. Phil Spencer has been telling them for years, when we all play, when everybody plays, we all win. Like, that's exactly what they've been saying. So what do they believe that meant? What do they think that slogan meant? That slogan meant exactly what the hell he was saying, because he knew this was coming. He just couldn't say, hey guys, yeah, you remember how we was gassing you guys up and hyping you guys up with all of this stuff that we're purchasing? Yeah, to be honest with you, bro, like, none of that shit's gonna be exclusive to y'all. Thank y'all for sticking by us, though. I mean, we definitely appreciate it. You guys have been faithful, like loyalists.
Yeah, and sick. How much did they manipulate them on Twitter with the CMA denied
They didn't
it?
manipulate them.
No, I'm saying when the CMA declined it, all the whining on Twitter and them trying to use social media to leverage the justification for the ABK deal. Remember, they were playing Twitter. They were making all these influencers, everybody like supporting the deal. Like they were playing on Twitter.
They didn't make them do that. These dudes, they assembled their own army, like the idiots at the fucking border in Texas.
They also
man.
played into it with the Lulus and all the other shit.
Yeah.
And even Phil, even what's his name? That guy Brad Smith that we don't even see anymore would go to Twitter going, I am very disappointed. Meanwhile, the son of a bitch didn't say he's disappointed when they laid off 2,000 people. He had nothing to say about that. But he said last year, he's like, I'm so disappointed in the CMA. We might pull out of you, bitch. Like, and he just writes a tweet about that, and everybody's like, get him. You know, you know what I think too? I'm looking at this tweet now. It has 8 million views. I think Phil says, you know what? I'm going to cash in on these rumors as well. And I think Phil's making money on Twitter with this thing. He's going to see like $1,000 payday with this tweet. 8 million views.
They don't get businesses or people with that gold check mark. They don't.
He don't have a gold one. He has a blue one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Phil Ness got the blue one.
Maybe he is.
He's cashing out.
Oh no, you know what? I think he had the check before any of that other shit took place.
Oh, okay. So he's not making not making another grand on this tweet.
Nah, I don't think so. He might be though. They don't call him Phil Ness for nothing.
No, dude, man. Yeah, exactly. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna make some money on this deal, on this thing. And then he goes here. You know, we have a business update event for next week. So I don't know if that's gonna. Is it a roundtable with Activision?
Is that like a CES type deal? Because I guess that's what Sony does to give.
It may, you know what? It may be like a circle, that circle roundtable thing where they sit around like that. That was kind of like maybe that a business update.
But I don't understand. Why would you come out and tweet that you're going to have a business update to your consumers
for next week?
What exactly are you updating them on?
It says right there,
whether or not
sharing.
You think they're gonna come out and be like, "Oh yeah, man, we're taking everything from you guys"? No, they're
no. I said exactly what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, we've been trying to get more gamers to more. Our goal was to play games on more screen. Like, that same bullshit. And now because of like that, you know, we're gonna start putting our games on other platforms. We want to support Sony and Nintendo, and you know, we're gonna start putting games over there, starting with Hi-Fi Rush in a couple of weeks. And you know, the future of Xbox looks bright, but we're gonna make sure that we still support our console and that kind of shit. And that's what's gonna happen. And because it says more details about our vision for the future of Xbox, and I don't know, talking about the console, talking about the.
I think
platform.
We will find out just how gullible these folks are.
They're going to crawl right back up his ass. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of people crawl back up that ass.
I mean, you got some people, like I said, I told you this yesterday. They'll be mad for a week, and then they will be okay by the end of it.
Yeah, I heard people today. Like, I'm like,
that's why I'm just watching these people like have a meltdown and just understanding and knowing the human psyche. You're mad for the moment. They're gonna tell you something that's gonna make you feel good about the decision that they've made, and you're gonna totally forgive them for everything.
And what's crazy?
It's weird.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that these the people that will like Sony has to put all their games everywhere. It's great for Microsoft. They're putting their games everywhere, and Sony's in the Stone Ages. They don't know what they're doing. They're holding their stuff behind gates, and you got to put your games everywhere. But as soon as the rumors come out,
they said that. They said that.
they what?
Wait, when did they say that? When
They've
did
saying
they say
that all the years.
Oh, no. Okay. I thought you said they said that recently.
Who?
I was gonna
people?
say,
No,
oh,
Microsoft
hell.
Microsoft never said that, but all these people would rah when these games would be everywhere, and they go, more people play, we all win, and all this other stuff, like just touting the Phil Spencer line and calling Sony and thinking like the future is Game Pass everywhere, and Sony is not updating themselves with the times and all this other stuff. But those same people are the ones that are shocked by this news. But as soon as somebody said, "Oh, we're gonna put a game on PlayStation," all of a sudden, more games everywhere. That shit stopped. They're like, turn the spaces on. We got shit to talk about right now. This is bullshit. What about us? What about us? And it's like, you dopey bastards were cheering on games everywhere, but not on PlayStation. But as soon as they say, you know what, we're going to put some of those games on PlayStation, you guys you lose your shit. Oh,
well,
ridiculous.
Let me ask you, Jez, what would you do personally in this situation? Given the
right
situation
now,
that faces them,
in the state that they're in right
just
now,
overall,
because I would have stopped this thing a long time ago. Right now, with they and I heard some of the people was like, well, wait a second, guys, you just have games right now. Give it some time. Show how the games, maybe could improve the platform. Don't rush this. Your knee jerk reaction, similar to like Windows Phone, similar to Mixer, like you just shutting it down before. Maybe you get some momentum. Like they bought Ninja and Shroud, and like 6 months later, they just shut it down because it didn't grow to where it was. And now you got all the studios, you got all this content. Let it settle on Xbox and see what it does to the brand. And for me,
here's the problem though, Jez. This isn't a $2 or $2 billion acquisition. This ain't a $3 billion.
Like I said, I would stop things before this, but now
this is a $7 billion acquisition, a $70 billion acquisition, or like $74 billion or something like that.
Get in the candy store. And now he's throwing up.
Here's the problem. Xbox makes what? Maybe like $4 billion or whatnot.
You're my number one customer.
On its own. And how long would that take for them to repay this debt?
Yeah,
and like keep in mind they're already in debt prior to having to pay this debt back.
They're just chipping away in an iceberg. Like it'll take forever, and that's because they spent too much money too quickly. Like I couldn't believe that they were spending $70 billion on Activision when the $7 billion acquisition.
You know why?
They didn't even dry up.
Because it made perfect sense. They were gonna set this store up. King makes billions of fucking dollars,
and they're gonna make their own store.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of taking a cut, they were gonna be getting pretty much the full amount. You know what I'm saying? And they were banking on that money. They were fucking pissed when they saw that Epic lost that.
Oh yeah, Sarah Bond had something to say about that. Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
pissed
they were fucking pissed. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do. Apple is fucking big. Apple is fucking huge. You can't do Apple the way you did those stupid ass fucking regulators. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're not going for it. You think it's a coincidence that the Supreme Court said, "Nah, we're not gonna take this up"? No. Even Microsoft money couldn't pay for that.
No, they can't. They can't. and again, they can't hire a judge that has a kid working for Microsoft.
You know what it is though, and this is what Microsoft understands, and they should understand it because they're in the same boat. There's a lot of people heavily invested in Apple. You really think they're gonna go and fuck themselves over?
Yeah, Microsoft met their match with Apple. Because they do the same kind of lobbying that they did. Because you saw, oh my God, like if you want to see a whining, big, woe is me, hands on the floor, spanking around. The Microsoft executives, after the CMA rejected the deal, oh my God, the whining and like, we could pull out of the UK and we're not going to make you technologically advanced. Like, we're going to pull out. Like, oh my God, the pettiness from them. It was disgusting. It was despicable. It looked like a rich kid that always got his way, and somebody just said no to him, and he's causing a little tantrum. It was so petty and pathetic. It was ridiculous when they declined when the CMA rejected that deal. We might pull out of this. Satya, they had friggin' what's his name on there, Big Booty Bobby, going, this is ridiculous. They could lose their technology advancements and their security systems if they declined this deal. Like, they were threatening to pull out Microsoft products out of the UK. That's how like petty.
I would have said do it.
I said do it too. But they would have.
You think Google and fucking all of these other companies?
And that's why I loved it.
Jumping at the bit.
When Apple plays the same game as Microsoft, and now you just met your own match, because guess what? They shut their store down. They're like, yeah, you could put your trash in our store, but we're gonna make you pay us for every little piece of trash you sell. And Microsoft doesn't like that. As they should. Apple invests in the iPhone hardware, the invention of the iPhone, the iOS system. They keep the servers on and all that stuff. You think you're just going to walk into my store and sell a product for free and use all my shit? You know what? You got $70 billion, Microsoft. How about you go make a fucking phone in an ecosystem? Enjoy, get ahead. Go do it. You don't milk off of us. You want to complain about us charging for our store? Go buy your own. You did it before. Do it again. You got all this money in the world. You want to have a mobile presence? Go buy it. Go get a Nokia returns again. Dig them up from the graves and go make a new one. Go ahead. You got all the money. Do it. Do it. You want a mobile ecosystem so bad? Go buy a phone and go do it. Yeah, you tried it and you failed because you know how much it costs. So when we want to get paid for putting your app in our store, shut up. Go do it yourself. Try it again, round 2. They did. And then they closed it all up. And Satya said, this is the worst thing. And guess what? This is a remix of that. They shut down this Xbox console. Get ready. 5-6 years, even if Windows gaming is around, they're going to be like, guys, we lost our platform. We lost our platform to do anything. Now, Google, Sony, Nintendo, they tell us what to do and where to put our games. You want Gears remastered? All right, put it on page 7. Make sure God of War 5 is in the front and Hellblade, put them all in the front. Oh, well, Hellblade, put it on page 6, please. I don't want that shit on my front page.
All of this AI technology they have, and for some odd reason,
put it on page 7.
Yeah, for some odd reason, they can't manage to create themselves their own store.
Do it.
If you're such a great deal,
the Windows Store right now. Here it is. Here's their own store. Everybody says it sucks.
Yeah, but if you're so good,
they got lucky sevens.
You should create another phone.
Yeah,
and create another store for that phone.
Look, here's their store. Here's Microsoft money. Here you go. Look at this wonderful front page. Roblox. Celebrate WhatsApp, iTunes, Windows Scan, iCloud, Microsoft Chip Champ. Look at this trash ass store. Tropical Marge, Dragon.
Here's the thing.
Look at this garbage.
Even if they're able to do it in the EU, Apple's smart enough to make sure shit doesn't work properly.
Top free games. Microsoft Solitaire is installed on every computer that you buy. Here's their store. This is Microsoft money. Look. There you go. Look at all this thing. Here's Candy Crush. Look, they spent so much money. Here's Candy Crush. There it is. Look, Candy Crush, Vegas Slots, Candy Crush Soda, Hidden City, Seeker's Notes. Here's Pal World is showing the featured game is Fairyland Merge and Magic. What is all this? Hey, Colt, tell us what all this stuff is. Colt, I need some clarification. What is all this stuff?
On their little
oh, there it is.
Killer games that are.
I'm sorry, what?
The little Animal Crossing.
This is Colt Eastwood.
My little baby little Fisher
This is what he turns into.
Toy on their little goo gaga.
Now consoles are for Goo Goo Gaga and the Switch is a baby toy and all this other stuff. Meanwhile,
on their little goo gaga.
Some of the bitch is getting fed in rooftop parties because he caps for a piece of plastic.
On their little goo gaga.
Stop! Enough!
It's
Look
so
at all
funny
them
just
whining,
to see the
dude.
reaction to everybody, man. Like,
it is hilarious, dude. It was hilarious. Yo, game night with the 5. Yo, he goes, Phil was quick to hop on a podcast about Redfall and have that boo-hoo fest about how it's hard to be us. Meanwhile, he's telling folks to wait a week for a business meeting. Thank you, game night. Yeah, exactly. For a business meeting.
Yeah,
Look
no,
at this trash.
that's crazy as hell.
At
That is crazy.
There's
as
their
hell.
store. This is Microsoft store. This is it. They can't wait to put this kind of trash, on a phone? This is what they're doing. Here's gaming. What's gaming? Let's see this wonderful gaming section of the Windows Microsoft store. Look at this. Celebrate your lunar year. They got Persona 3 Reloaded next to Mergiest Kingdom, Merge Puzzle.
Mergiest Kingdom. What
Dude,
the hell?
it is like gamblers. This is best-selling games for the Windows. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Gambino, 250 spins, Caesar slots, Bingo Blitz, Jackpot Party, Halo Infinite's right there. There's Halo Infinite next to Jackpot Party and Bermuda Adventures. Who the fuck curates this shit? Look at this. Oh, please don't mind Halo Infinite right next to Jackpot Party and 7 Slots Casino. Oh, here's Sea of Thieves sitting between Slots and Sherlock Holmes. Look at this stuff. Homescapes. What the hell is this game? Dude, this is like a day of entertainment. You go through this trash-ass store. Look at this. What is this stuff? These look like viruses. Oh, here's Destiny 2 next to 2,000 free coins. The game. It's Destiny 2. You can't even find your games. Colt, what is this again? Yeah, Goo Goo Gaga. I could call you PC Goo Goo Gaga. Look at this. Oh, here's Dead by Daylight and Ark. It's next to Klondike and 1 million free chips in World Series of Poker. This is wonderful. This is their store. Yeah, Microsoft. I'm sure Apple can't wait for you to put this trash ass store on their phone. It looks like this store looks like a virus. This looks like one of those apps that you download on the Google Play Store and it like takes over your phone and takes over your contacts and shit. This is ridiculous. Look at this trash. This is it.
So much winning, man.
Yeah, this is
winning.
This is your $1 trillion company. Look at this. They want to open a store. Oh, here's Halo Master Chief Collection next to Super City and Wild West New Frontier. Remnant is next to Airport City and Balloons TD6. Look at this garbage. Yeah. Tell us again how you want to put a store. And that's the other problem. I said this before. You stop putting your games everywhere, there's tons of competition. Sick, you were saying this when you came on. There are all those games that Sony's dropping on PlayStation. You're going to throw a Sea of Thieves up there and think it's going to sell million? Dude, it is going to sell GOTS on there because it is going to be noise, and Sony's going to make sure it's on page 3 unless they do a Microsoft promotion on there. And on top of that, they don't even put the Xbox icon on cross-play games. You think that they're going to market a Microsoft product with an Xbox still being sold on their store? Like, you think that they're going to take this initiative and stuff? It's going to be trickled. It's going to be over time. You think they're just going to dump their games like this summer on PlayStation? That's why this business meeting is going to be this is a venture that they're going to go on to, because Sony is going to be, I am sure Sony is not going to just say, you put your Xbox branding on our store. It's going to be, you're going to have to say Microsoft, like Windows Gaming presents Starfield, presents, or Bethesda Works presents this. You don't even see the console icon on crossplay games because they don't want marketing like that. So this is going to be very interesting on how Sony takes this up. And people saying about the competition stuff, I hear about that, like a Sony $800 console. Dude, if it's quality, you can't fight quality, all right? It is what it is. But Microsoft hasn't been competing. Go look at the minus 15% year over year and tell me was Sony's shaking in their boots. Sony hasn't been shaking in their boots good. Get Microsoft out of here. They're a waste of a console right now, and get somebody in here that wants to really compete. Because right now, Microsoft's not competing. All they're doing is throwing shit against the wall and see what sticks. And know what's funny? I could cut my song. Listen. How? Oh my God. How that song originated from Stutter and Satya saying, here he is right here, stuttering, get in here. I want to hear this.
Everything that we're doing with our content, with our our cloud and community.
He said, let us compete, let us get this deal. To now say we're just putting our games on our PlayStation and Nintendo, putting it on the PlayStation and Nintendo. Like, what are you competing? Who are you competing with? Tencent? Is that who you're competing with? Because when he said we're competing, he's like, what are we, fourth or fifth in the console space? So you weren't buying. Why were you telling people you're buying this to compete? Because you're third and fourth in the console space. But meanwhile, you buy this thing to compete, but you're buying this thing and you're putting it on them. Shit changed, man. Another pivot from them. Because they do not know what they're doing. They're a bunch of rich executive sons of bitches over there and have no clue what gamers want, what consumers want. They're horrible with consumer electronics. Just look at your Kinects, your HoloLenses, your Surface tablets, your Windows phones, your Zunes. Go look at how Microsoft's history with consumer electronics is. They suck.
Oh no! We suck
again! They suck. And now they creeped into Xbox, and they will do the same with that. And if Phil leaves, Satya don't know how to run shit, and you will see more and more adjustments, more and more that stuff, and we'll go. Shout out to Sick, man. He had to go, and Frog, shout out to him, man. But yeah, just to, it was a crazy night, man. I know everybody was going wild on shows. I appreciate everybody coming through here on the Gaming Grindhouse. It was a very noisy night. But it was an incredible show, and I am sure we're going to have some more following up to this week. Now people are just throwing out names of all different games and all this other stuff. But I'm sure they'll get over it. I'm sure like Phil will give them a whiff and a twinkle in his eye. And there it is. What is this? Wait, hold on. Yeah, Tim Dog wrote this about Xbox basically went bankrupt. It was too good to be true. He feels bad for Xbox. Like, I don't know. He's been getting all insider stuff from people saying these things. It could be overreacting in there. But obviously, the console is not doing it. And and I said this before. When you look at the financials, the thing that stands out the most is how bad the Xbox console is. And how many months and years you're going to go through that with the console being that bad. And with Activision carrying the services, nothing's carrying console. And even dropping that price of it really didn't do anything. And again, it's the Achilles heel to all the deals. And it's already trending 2 million behind the Xbox One. This console's 2 million behind the other one. The one that they supposedly lost. So, yeah. It doesn't look good, and I don't think putting their games on PlayStation is going to change anything for them. It's just going to buy them some more time. And grinders, before I shut this down, I just want to say, how long did I say on this channel Microsoft and Xbox was on borrowed time? I had a whole shows about the whole thing. They took too long to get their act together. They took too long. They when they purchased those studios in 2018, they needed to have games ready in 2020, and they needed to be quality. They took too long. They were on borrowed time, and they took too long. And now, that's right, Michael, too late now. They've went through too many avenues without releasing content. They became unreliable as a content provider. They became unreliable in delivering quality hardware because the third party doesn't even take advantage of it. They complain about the S, get delayed games. It's stumble over stumble over stumble. And I have a whole bunch of videos of like how bad their launch was. That Aaron Greenberg video, if you remember that one that I was showing earlier with Aaron Greenberg with the refrigerator behind him, that was the reveal of gameplay for the Series X. If you remember, that's when they showed a little CGI or whatever of Assassin's Creed and got laughed out of the thing because it was the first visual of next-gen gameplay. And do you remember that whole thing? Even the launch of the Series X wasn't good because they showed that Assassin's Creed like 30 seconds saying Assassin's Creed gameplay, and it was a CGI in-game. It was like just like in-game cinematics, and everybody complained. And he's like, we'll learn our lesson. We'll show gameplay. And then Sony showed that E3, that epic Unreal 5 demo. Remember? Even that was a mess. They couldn't even get that right. So they've been stumbling upon stumbling, and it all culminated to this. Yes, Sony did the Unreal 5 demo, and that was off the heels of promising Assassin's Creed gameplay, which was the video that... Actually, here, it's right. It's this one. Where was it? Did I have it playing right here? Oh, here it was. Right here. Just to kind of highlight. Here it was. Watch. This is what I wanted to play earlier.
Get hyped. You're going to see today the first ever Xbox Series X gameplay from our partners around the world. Damon Baker and Sarah Bond, who lead our partnership team, have brought some of the best developers and creative teams to the table. They're going to be joined by Jeff, Katarina, and Malik. Team Xbox coming in strong. It's an exciting day. We know fans have been waiting for this, but also we know you're wondering what's going on with Xbox Game Studios. You guys have 15 creative teams now around the world. You blew us away at XO19. You blew us away at the Game Awards with Hellblade 2. We know you've got more. Of course we do. And with that, I want to welcome the head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, to tell us a little more.
Thanks, Aaron.
No thanks.
Hi, everybody.
We don't need a booty drop. Where is it? Here's your next gen gameplay. This guy with the headphones. Watch. He was hyping up teams. This was in 2020.
It's a quick view of Phil Spencer's home office.
いよいよこの発表したいなと。
This guy is
Just
selling
brief peek at just some of the titles we have lined up for Xbox Series X. This is just the beginning. And personally, I can't wait to get immersed in these amazing games. But until then, I'm just going to have to live out that fantasy via custom backgrounds in Microsoft Teams. How about I try out a few now? Maybe we'll go into the world of Scarlet Nexus, or maybe I could tear up the streets in Dirt 5, or, well, here's a quick view of Phil Spencer's home office. Oh, wait a second. We've got this inside look at the next Assassin's Creed game. So with that, I'm going to leave you with the gameplay debut of the highly anticipated Assassin's Creed Valhalla for Xbox Series X. Huge thanks to all of our partners for their hard work during these difficult times, and to you at home for joining us. Stay tuned to go behind the scenes with a few of the creators of today's lineup and hear more about their thoughts.
And here was at world premiere. Look, all cinematics. And this was it. And after this, they got criticism. That was it. How's that? And even that got criticized. We're learning. We're sorry. Same stuff. Same stuff. And there you go, grinders. They've been tripping over themselves every step of the way, but now is a concern. We'll see how this changes throughout the week. I think it's hit a peak tonight and last night. And now we're going to see the residuals. And we'll wait to see what this business meeting is. But keep it locked here. Yeah, no gameplay. And Aaron Greenberg had to apologize. We will learn, do better. And then Sony dropped the Unreal saying this was running on a PS5. And everybody's like, that's not real. That's not real. Man, even that was a mess. Oh, the lies they spread. The influences spread. Oh, man. It has been a grueling adventure here at the Gaming Grindhouse. Just trying to sift through the minutia and showing the reality of what the situations are. But grinders, that's why you come here. Hit that like button, share it out, subscribe here if you're new. And I'm going to make sure I got everybody's chat here, super chats here. Thank you so much. And keep it locked here. Another epic show. And thank you to Sick. Thank you to Kyle. And thank you to Frogs for coming through on tonight's show. We will cover more. And I will be doing some more shows this week. Maybe some more streams. And definitely doing some some things. So it's next week. He made everybody wait a whole week, and we don't know if it's Monday or Tuesday. He just said next week. There's a business update. So we will see. But anyway, guess what? While Microsoft is burning down over there with the Xbox, we have Helldivers 2 to play in a few days, and we do have a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo that just launched today, and a state of play that is coming in the next day or so. So, as usual, Sony, who was supposedly dry, and I remember the conversations, what are they going to have in the first quarter? Sony is nothing. Sony has nothing. That's coming off Grand Blue Fantasy, which I've been loving right now. And now we got a couple more exclusives coming your way. Sony dropping the games. Herman Holtz with the chest hairs announcing another game. And showing Death Stranding 2 while Microsoft's burning flames trying to figure out gaming after 22 years of being in the gaming industry. So if that's not poetic, I don't know what is. Good night, Grinders. Hit me with the wonderful outro. Good night, everybody. Yeah, Sony going bankrupt.
Conmen, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals!
By request! We gotta end it this way, you're right.
Let's see that booty drop. Booty. And
Stop! Stop! Enough!
Night.